again. And again and again and again. Ladies and gentlemen, sentient piles of rubble, welcome
I don't
to another
think that was
episode.
a genre of people.
Oh, that
You
last
just gonna
part? It
gloss
was.
over
Nah,
that's you just gonna leave out.
you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't. That was to the aliens at the mall I was talking to.
Yo, this is a lot of cops. And this isn't just on one street. It really was an alien. It's gotta
I'm
be.
telling you, it
What
had to
else
be
would
aliens.
elicit this response?
So listen, folks, we may not have long, okay? So we're just gonna have to come straight out the gate with the most important news story of the week, probably of the month, definitely of the new year so far,
Probably of the century if it's really aliens.
of the global community, if we're being perfectly frank.
Of all of human history.
Hell, even non-sentient history.
In the history of the world.
In universal history.
Alright, I think that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Like we are in
So,
the universe.
so for those who don't know, there was apparently a brawl at the mall in Miami, right? And this
Malice
apparently
at the Palace.
teenagers fighting, right? All these teenagers fighting, just that's all. And so what happens here though, right? Is that police are saying that so okay, so for those who are unaware, right? There's Bayside Mall in Miami, and a video came out of the police response to what was allegedly kids fighting at the mall, right? Um, and the video shows upwards of like 60 to 70, probably 80, 100 even cop cars outside of this mall. Remember, emergency response, they're responding to kids fighting in the mall. They weren't responding to to shots. You know what I mean? They're responding to kids scrapping at the mall.
To be clear, it was apparently like 50 of them. But
Oh,
50 kids fighting?
50 teenagers. Yeah, it was like a brawl.
That's the brawl. Hell, I wish I was there.
Yeah,
I've
well,
never been a part of a brawl.
you know what it was? It was 49 teenagers and one alien. One alien. He just came in there with his little meat suit and said, "Yes, I too would like to engage in fisticuffs."
His meat suit. Why you got a meat suit?
Because he not really us. What you mean?
Oh, so he's like pretending to be a human. But if he was pretending to be human, then how would people know he was an alien?
Hey, shit, he let his guard down for a second. Somebody
The
caught
hologram
him.
is fading.
Caught him slipping. His hologram machine battery got low. You know, like when the warning pop up, before you dismiss it, it show you real quick.
And then everybody in the brawl just had the Metal Gear Solid question mark over their head.
Like said,
Exclamation point.
I'm gonna keep looking. That was suspicious. But yeah, so the part that blows mine though, right? 4 juveniles were arrested. So a crowd of unruly teens before people get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
How you catch 4 out of 50 people brawling?
Listen, all I'll say is cops love to arrest people. So I'm just a little confused how you only caught 4 of those kids out of the 50. But it's cool. It's cool, right? Because then we keep going forward, right? So then the police, as they are known to do, put out a statement that didn't quite address what we were hoping to hear, because they didn't say anything, right? But people claim that they were, quote, Nephilim-like creatures.
Nephilim-like creature. There was giants out there?
He said they were 10-foot beasts.
Come on now. Come on. Nobody actually believed that. Don't tell me people actually said that.
Nah, no. Nobody said that.
Nephilim-like creatures?
Bro, come on. Nobody said that. Who would have said that?
I did see I saw one screenshot of the video with all the cops where somebody zoomed in to like the center of the stairs and there was just like a figure standing there. And everybody was saying, look how far the camera zoomed out. You know how big that person would have to be to show up on the camera? I'm like, they look appropriately sized. I don't know what y'all are seeing.
He said, I mean, they're probably like 6'1", 6'2", maybe. Like
that's just a guy.
That's just a human height. I don't know what to tell you.
So
But yeah,
it went
so
from aliens to giants. Or
look,
giant one.
alien creatures, ancient aliens, Nephilim, golems. At this point, it's finna be anything. They'll tell you anything. There was even a video where they said they allegedly spotted something on camera, and I'm like, bro, this thing doesn't even look like a thing. I couldn't tell you what it is on camera, but it just looks like something. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, why are y'all so sure that this is a 7-foot alien when a 7-foot alien probably looks drastically different from a helicopter?
I would think a 7-foot alien you would immediately recognize as a 7-foot alien. Like you can't
Yeah.
mistake that as something else.
Yeah. I would like again a 7-footer in pretty much any like, bro. If Nikola Jokic walks into a room, you are going to be well aware that Jokic is in the room with you. That brother is what 6'11".
Yeah, something like that.
If Wemby walk in a room, brother, there's no hiding. It's fucking Wemby. You're telling me an 8 to 10 foot creature was caught outside?
Now it's 8 to 10 feet. I love this story.
Yeah, people are saying like 10 feet.
So like everybody's speculating online. Where are the people that were actually there? Why aren't they saying anything about this Nephilim, this 8-foot tall mythical beast?
I was there.
You was the mythical beast, probably.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Have there been any statements from people that was actually there?
Oh, I'm listening to a dispatch. They got the dispatch joints.
If somebody actually said on the police line there's an alien there, that's kind of crazy.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Of course they didn't.
Well, I was about to say, what is dispatch talking about there?
I'm crying. I'm reading a news article. Hold on, let me just read it for you real quick. In a recent incident at a local mall, social media reports and videos surfaced claiming an attack by large creatures. According to eyewitness accounts shared online, these creatures were described as being between 7 to 10 feet tall, leading to the shutdown of air traffic in the Miami area with only police helicopters reportedly remaining operational. Sparse reports also mentioned the sighting of UFOs. Not they was coming to pick their kids up from the mall. Nigga got the call. You at that mall fucking around? Get your ass in the space. Get your ass in the shit.
Even if it was 7, like say this is an unprecedented event, aliens, monsters, mole men, any type of cryptid, mothman, it's just niggas on the ground. Why is airspace being shut down for 7 to 10 foot tall creatures in a mall? They thought they was gonna take flight?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, let them niggas go to Waffle House. I ain't even tripping. If they in the mall, I ain't worried about what they doing for real. They just shopping.
Yeah, I mean, if they go to Waffle House, the employees there will handle them. You don't got nothing to worry about.
Exactly. So, like, at that point, I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, them niggas probably in Aldo shopping for dress shoes. Like, I'm not tripping.
So they shut down airspace. Only police helicopter. Something else was going on. I mean, well, obviously something else was going on.
Well, they didn't actually shut down the air traffic. That was not true.
Yeah, I'm sure that was kizzy. Yeah, that was. And plus, not to mention, someone else is saying that, like, hey, listen, like, as someone who lives, like, you know, near Biscayne Boulevard, which is in Miami, and in the middle of all of this, they're like, the cops overreact often to anything. So it's like, yeah. Well, no, but what they're saying is, like, let's say it's an example where it's something. Maybe I just need one guy to back me up. It's gonna be 5 niggas that show up. So basically, what they're saying is, in this case, when you're talking about a crowd of 30, 40, 50 kids, that's probably already going to be a good amount of officers, right? Like a good 10 cruisers maybe will handle that, 10, 15, maybe 20. But then, you know, you just throw in that bloodlust. Wait, they were black youth? Niggas is going 170 to get to that scene.
Automatic 20 times multiplier. You got
where you got 9 stars in GTA.
You got the National Guard showing.
You got the NSA and they secret agents. But yeah, so needless to say, the Miami's landed in Miami first. That's it. The aliens landed in Miami first.
The Myaliens.
The Myaliens. Not the Myaliens. The Myaliens have landed.
Who would have thought we would have got Myaliens before ATLiens?
You know what? Honestly, I feel like the people from Atlanta are aliens first. Like, so I don't know. It's hard for me to get. I feel like if anything, they migrated from Atlanta to Miami.
I feel like Florida Man is the most alien-like creature we have on this
Yeah,
planet.
true. That's a true cryptid. That's
If
true.
it's not Florida man, it's Russian dash cam individual. Any nigga that's on the Russian dash cam is giving
Not
Florida man
Russia.
a
That or live leak participant.
That's not a cryptid. That's just a snuff film.
So anyway, yeah, listen, prayers up to the local community in Miami. I don't know how you guys are gonna make it with these 8-foot creatures walking around, but best of luck to you guys. See if y'all can make a team. See if y'all can look, the Heat needs some help. The Heat needs some help. I'm just saying.
Hey man, get the Monstars together, really.
Talk about it. Tangentially related to 20 black youth being in one spot, causing a ruckus. Let's talk about the concept of a naysayer. So for those who don't know, right? What was it, like 3 days, 2 days into the new year, we got one of our first memes of the year with naysayers. So for those who don't know, it started with college football, right? So there's the college football morning show with, Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, a bunch of other football folks. And so Reese Davis is one of the dudes giving a little I don't know what you call it, he's doing his lead, right? It's like maybe like a 45-second lead where you get your shit off and then the rest of the panel comes in. So he's doing his lead and he's talking about Jalen Milroe, the quarterback of Alabama. And he's talking about how Jalen Milroe has a brand, and the brand is called LANK, LANK. And it's an acronym, and it stands for Let All Naysayers Know. Now, as you can probably surmise, that's not what LANK stands for. It's officially what it stands for.
He said it so confidently, I thought that's what it really stood for.
No. So that's the thing. That's officially, that is what it stands for. What I'm saying is that's not how it was created. You get what I mean?
I thought he came up with that on the spot because he didn't want to say nigga.
No, I thought he did at first, and that's what made it so funny to me.
I thought he was smooth with it. Okay,
but it was just a white guy still saying, "Let all naysayers know." Like, yo, listen. If you gonna leave the house early, LANK, yo, let a naysayer know, bro. That's all. That's all I'm asking. And so, of course, the panel kind of reacts accordingly, same way you did, where they were just like, "That's not where I thought this was going." I for sure did not know that was where we were going with this. And then it's just created, all the memes in the world. Black folks just seeing it, finding it humorous, and then, all right, we replacing nigga with naysayer now. So, like, the funniest thing is, remember that video, that black dude eating ice cream pop? It's the SpongeBob thing.
He's like, naysayers.
Naysayers. That shit was good. Like, there was so many.
This was on part with they need a much bigger Navy.
Oh yeah, a naysayer Navy. Yeah, nah. This is on par with that. This is on par with a few different things. Even the Birmingham thing, like. But I was thinking, I was just like, yeah, this is a great start to the year. This is how we want to bang it off. So
this year about to be crazy. We got the naysayers. We got the nigga jumping the bench to jump on the judge. That was crazy. Yeah, we got Katt Williams, which you're gonna get into later.
Like, bro,
so much shit happening in 1 week.
Like, bro, why are you making a 4th and 1 goal line stop? Like, what are you? No. And I looked into it.
Never been to court. Y'all don't understand how big those judges' benches are.
Yo, that was the part that really, like, a judge's bench is at least 5 and some change, like probably 5'6" or something. Like 5. It's not an easy task to clear it.
That with negative difficulty.
He cleared it. I at most his knee might have grazed it, but like he cleared it.
All I can think about every time I watch that clip is just that, I don't know, it's been a while since you played Left 4 Dead, but the hunter scream when he diving, that's all I can think about is that streak every time I see him jump over that bench. Oh my god. I hope I want to know what his sentence was, or like what drove him to that amount of anger, because surely you're getting another 5 years now. So
well, apparently he had his parole denied. Now, again, don't know what he was on parole for.
Oh yeah,
he was on parole. He was on parole for aggravated assault.
Oh well. Well,
checks out.
He was attempting to be on parole for aggravated assault, but he was originally charged with aggravated assault, and that was his response to getting his parole denied.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay,
Well,
so
assault aggravatedly.
yeah. Let me paint the whole picture because I just seen an article and it gets worse. So he was sentenced on a charge of attempted battery with substantial bodily harm. Which is aggravated assault. That's exactly what that sounds like. During the hearing,
Substantial. They
with
beat
substantial.
somebody ass.
So during the hearing, him and his attorney asked the judge for probation rather than time behind bars. And basically, he said he was addressing his mental health, trying to learn from his mistakes. And then, so the judge said, "Oh, that's so sweet. That's so dope. That's dope. Real quick, let me just read something for you, real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you if you want to, say the same thing. Your client has 3 felonies, misdemeanors, multiple DV charges, robberies, and an attempted home invasion charge." And then said right after that, "You've got a lot going on, sir." And then so the attorney said, like, "Nah, I think my client can successfully complete probation." And the judge said, "I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he get a taste of something else because with that history, I just can't." And right
3
after that,
felonies? I don't even know about all the other shit, the misdemeanors, but 3 felonies in itself, and he's still walking
well,
around.
brother, 3 felonies, multiple DV charges, robberies, and an attempted home invasion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Brody.
Lock him back up.
Send
I
that
don't know.
I'm
naysayer
for,
to jail.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all for prison abolition, but that nigga gotta go somewhere.
Either we put him in jail or on an island or something.
Some niggas just are a danger to society. You gotta figure something out.
So seconds later, the man shouted "F that B" and ran towards the judge. Now we didn't catch that. All we saw was the Brian Dawkins leap, covering 17 feet of ground. And he tackled her to the ground. Then they both disappeared from the camera's view. The funniest part is the guy's next to his face, who's like watching it all happen in real time.
Oh,
And
the stenographer?
he's just looking like, "Bro, ain't no way, he about to jump over it."
The funniest part was the bailiff. It was 3 people up there next to the judge, and he was fighting all of them.
He was
He
not.
was winning.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
look,
he was really winning.
look. He already, bro. He here for aggravated assault. He good at this shit. He know what he do. He got
Let
multiple.
me show you how I got
substantial
these
injury.
charges.
He got multiple DV charges. Listen, when it comes to hitting a woman, like that's his bag. Like that's what he finna do. So he said, nah. Oh, she denied my parole. Well, I'm gonna just go back to the old me then. You know what I'm good for.
Did you not see the 3 DVs on there? Like, what do you
He
think
said,
I'm gonna do in this situation?
I'm finna get a. Well, you lucky I don't know you. It ain't gonna be another DV, bro. And well, I don't know what he getting for that, but brother, you will forget what the sun feels like.
Did it say how much time he was facing originally?
Oh no. I'm looking at the sentence on charge. With that pass and that charge, I imagine he was finna get cooked. He's now charged with 7 counts of battery on a protected person and battery.
Oof.
Yeah.
And
Get comfortable.
they're reviewing evidence and plan to file additional charges.
Oh man, this nigga's never seen a
Yeah.
light again.
They're talking about they're gonna bring in additional guards. I'm like, y'all just need like a shock fence or something.
Put that nigga in the Hannibal Lecter fit and just wheel him into the courtroom.
I really think like it wasn't even the amount of guards. I think niggas was really just in shock. And so the reaction time was slow because they really was not expecting that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of courtroom brawls, and I've never seen anybody attack the judge. It's usually niggas will attack the prosecutor for putting him in jail. Niggas will attack the defense attorney for being mad and they couldn't get him
Or like,
off.
yeah, they'll
Niggas
attack
will
the person being accused. Like, yeah.
Nobody ever jumps the bench to attack the judge. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Hey, well, maybe it's a shift in American politics.
Hey man,
Yeah, that's a lot of athleticism. That's all that is. Like,
brother, you could have been at a JUCO right now. You still got a chance to make a practice squad, brother.
I mean, not no more.
But... No, not no more. Now you're fried. But yeah, man, look, naysayers are gonna do what they do, man. There's nothing you can do about it, man. So speaking of Well, I don't think this is really a speaking of, but I guess we on the topic of courtrooms and court proceedings, right? So I guess we can talk about this chancellor and for the University of Wisconsin. So I read this story, and at first I didn't quite get it, but then once I got a little more information around it, I said, "Oh, this is a finesse. This is a finesse." So basically, there was a chancellor of some school, University of Wisconsin. I think he was literally the University of Wisconsin lacrosse, right? So just one of UW, Wisconsin universities, the Cornhuskers. Anyway, no, not the Cornhuskers. What the fuck? Badgers. Sorry, my fault. Anywho, so they have a chancellor, right? And to where do I want to start with this? Huh. Okay. Let's see.
It's got to be you because I have no idea what this is.
No, I know. I'm just trying to. Okay, so this guy's been chancellor for the University of Wisconsin for some time, since at least 2018. And so, walk with me here, right? So in 2018, right, the guy named Joe Gow, he invites Nina Hartley to speak on campus for Free Speech Week. I'm not gonna. If you guys are curious, Google who Nina Hartley is. And so, long story short, he lost his raise right after doing this. Right, the president of the University of Wisconsin system, like all the colleges at the time, criticized the chancellor for, quote, exercising poor judgment. Right. This is 2018, so I'm just setting the ground here because it's finna get weird. So,
hold on,
this guy.
let me cut you off, but I just Googled Nina Hartley. Niggas were out of their mind back in the day. Like, this is what was going on in the industry before.
Listen, man. We are not here to. That's not what we're here for. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just you said Google it because I legit didn't know who it was, but that's interesting.
So what happened was.
Oh yeah, I know this story. Okay.
Yeah, so this guy, he led the University of Wisconsin since 2007. So he had been there for a long, long time. But what happened, right, was he recently posted pornographic videos with his wife online, right?
Why?
Well, it turns out he had been doing that for quite some time. They had been doing them for a year, but they had just recently decided to make them publicly available on sites, and they had been pleased by the response, right? So they never mentioned the university or their jobs in the videos. Some of the videos racked up hundreds of thousands before this was even known, right? They made a series of videos in which they cook meals with adult stars and then do the deed with them. It was called Sexy Healthy Cooking.
There's no. Wow.
No, hold on. Walk with me. Where we interview performers and really humanize them in ways that you wouldn't get to in their line of work. It's an interesting process, and the people that we work with are very professional and grateful to work with us.
No, I don't have no problem with the concept. I was just about to say South Park just came out with a new special, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I watched it, and they had a segment like this where Randy started an OnlyFans, and he was cooking with his dick out. And I just thought it was some bullshit South Park came up with. I didn't know this was like a story. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So long story short, he got fired for this. They unanimously decided to dismiss him, and he immediately filed a suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why I say this is the finesse of the century is because he had been there since 2007, and he was the longest tenured leader since the 1960s, right? The nigga had been doing this for a while.
Wait. He's been not the 60s, and he's putting out porn.
Here's what I'm saying. That nigga looked like he was on his way out of here. You understand what I'm saying? So he was already finna get up out of here anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now think about it. Walk with me. Follow me. If I'm already finna leave, does getting fired or dismissed mean anything to me? No, not really. No, because I'm already leaving. Like, oh, I missed out on a pension. Well, we'll see. That's what my case will be about, but we'll see. But the other thing is, I'm thinking to myself, he just recently started posting them, and they were getting hundreds of thousands of views before before any of this went public.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought is this was a double dip. My thought was, all right, I'm finna leave anyway. I might as well just make it public, boost my numbers on there. Once that news comes out, they're definitely gonna fire me. But because they fired me, now everyone's gonna go find out what that was about. So now they're gonna go look and see sexy, healthy cooking, sexy, healthy cooking, and they gonna go looking for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they do, that's gonna boost my numbers up there, and I'm gonna sue, and chances are they're gonna settle. Because they're not going to want to drag out this case, because then it's going to be a matter of free speech, free expression, and what can you do, what can't you do. Hey, well, he didn't mention his job or his shit or none of, you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying it's an easy case for him. I don't think it is. But at the same time, I don't think it's an easy case for anybody involved. So for me, I'm just thinking to myself, he might have put them in a bind where you're going to get broke off on this settlement. You may still get your pension, and you got the super stimulus package as it relates to marketing for your sexy, healthy cooking shit. I think that's a finesse. That's a finesse to me.
That boy,
now,
he made a play.
That's it. That he made a play. Now it comes with some risk. It comes with some risk for sure. So we can't say it's a finesse yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a play. He made a play, and I think he's got something. Right? These is on OnlyFans. Oh, who am I? Oh, okay. You ever like read like the text in an article and you're just like, who made this? Like I'm reading the article and like just the way it's written, I'm like, this is insane. Who's writing this? And it's the Federalist. I don't know if you guys know who the Federalist is, but yeah, I was just they're like a very heavily right-wing leaning website. So I'm just like, there's certain words and way that some of this is written where I'm just like, why does it sound like this? But it's because it's just the Federalist. Like but yeah, so yeah, he was just talking about exploring consensual adult sexuality through the creation of these videos and books is protected under the First Amendment. He said he's been doing it in secret for about a decade, but as of late, he opted to be a little bit more open about these free speech issues. There's nothing about the University of Wisconsin. There's nothing about the chancellor on the video. So someone else would have to make those associations. And then someone would have to say those are problematic.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, it sounds like he in the clear on my end, honestly.
The funniest part
is illegal.
The funniest part is them saying we are alarmed. This is the Board of Regents president, by the way. We are alarmed and disgusted by his actions, which are wholly and undeniably inconsistent with his role as chancellor. I'm like, bro, all right, come on, man. Come on, bro.
It's adult activities. This is at a college. This isn't like a high school or middle school teacher. This is a college.
Bro,
it's adult activities.
We just be cooking and then we boink. Like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what niggas do on an average day anyway, right?
So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But I don't know. I think he made a play, and I think he's got a shot at this play working.
Shouts out to him.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would get him caught up is like whatever the paperwork he signed when he accepted the position.
Oh yeah, like conduct unbecoming, shit like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, because even though that can be subjective, and since he's been there working there for so long, they may not have this caveat in there now. But I know a lot of universities have stipulations around whatever you're doing that's public facing, so like appearing on TV, that sort of thing, like doing interviews, those sorts of things, like even if it's not related to your role at the university.
And the standards are typically different for public figures as well. So it's like the standard for me, just an employee of whoever, versus the standard of you being a public entity or working for a public entity. Because I think UW is probably I'm pretty sure they're a public university. So it's like you're basically like a public service employee. So it's a whole different set of expectations for you guys. And so I don't know. Like I said, it'd be interesting to play it out. I think ultimately at the end, he's probably going to settle. And I think if he settles, and I don't know, it doesn't really matter what he settles for, but if he settles and he has access to his pension, I think he wins. I think that's a win. That's a super job.
Yeah, for sure. It's just impressive that he went that he was the one to divulge this information, because it's like usually those things get found out.
Yeah, somebody discovers this, or he said straight up like, nah, you know what, me and my wife, we been, I mean, we been like, But at this point, I'm just kind of sick of it. Like, because my thing is, even in 2018, when he had an adult actress come speak to y'all about free speech, and for niggas to say his judgment was poor and what was poor about? I don't understand. That woman pays taxes on that work that she does. What the? So if it's prestigious enough for the U.S. government to take the tax money out of my motherfucking check, you telling me it's too crazy for me to come and speak to students about this? It's a real profession, nigga. This ain't no fake shit. Like, what we talking about? Like, again, like, nigga, I have products. I have deliverables.
I want to keep reiterating too. This is a college. This isn't just high school. So they're already adults.
So we'll see. We will see. Oh, he said that they didn't even invite him to speak or defend himself at their meeting. So apparently just 6 years ago, they adopted a new policy on academic freedom and freedom of expression. Remember, 6 years ago. That's
literally what I said about, like, he probably, the paperwork he signed, or unless he may have had to sign that paperwork again, like they do it like annually, but a lot of universities in the last decade have been more strict about that sort of thing.
But I'm thinking to myself, right? And it's like, so he wrote all his books under pseudonyms, and the videos they filmed would be covered under the school's free expression policy, which is how he's arguing it. But my thing is, this is 6 years ago. Remember, this is from the end of 2023. 6 years is 2017. He invited that lady to come and speak at 2018. So I think this play has been in the works. Like, he ain't just come up with this. He was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna slow roll this one. And when I'm ready to dip, that'll be it. Yeah, he was the second longest serving chancellor in that school's history. Yeah, we'll see. But Joe Gal, I mean, look, he said straight up, he said, what was that shit where 21 holding up the sign? What was it? He was holding up the sign. He said, hey, look. Boy, I be in there. I be going plumb dumb, boy. So we'll see. But hey, look, more power to him, man. More power to him. Get your bag, yo. You rip that school off, yo. Lame ass niggas.
Who the hell want to go to Wisconsin anyway?
Word, we definitely not going now. Can't even get hired by the school and fuck adult actresses with my wife. Like, what are we talking about?
It'd be one thing if I was cheating. Yeah, that's unbecoming. But we doing it together.
Bro, what? Yo, what does America come to, man? It's despicable.
Honestly.
All right. So, are we still on legalities? Is there any other legalities here? Let's see. Court proceedings, legalities, and the like. Will we count the Epstein list as that?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely legalities.
I mean, only reason why I say why I ask is because, like, there ain't finna be no legal proceedings based on this shit. Well, I could be wrong, but there ain't finna be no legal proceedings based on this shit. So that's the only. But anyway, we'll talk about it. So for those who don't know, new list just dropped. Apparently this one is the unsealed documents from the Ghislaine Maxwell, is that her name? But
it's not even really a list. It's just if you go through all fucking
2 million pages,
you'll see the names of people that were mentioned in the court case. And there's gonna be a lot of misinformation that comes out of this because I've already seen people doing it. People are just listing every name that comes up in the document, like see, where there's only a few people that actually
are implicated in
wild
something.
Shit. Yeah. Like Al Gore's name came up, and it was literally just the witness being asked, "Did you ever see anybody have relations with Al Gore?" And they said no. So niggas were bringing up Al Gore's name when he didn't do anything. Now, Bill Clinton, that nigga, he's on. I'm not even gonna say he's on watch.
That boy mentioned he mentioned he's mentioned too many times in hell.
And the fact that they said he likes him young, get him out of here.
That's when you R. Kelly was now when you say young, how young we talking? But I think the part that for me, well, first off with the Al Gore part, I didn't even see that part, but I'm not gonna hold you. Al Gore created the internet and ran for president. You're on that list. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're on that list, buddy.
Because my thing is, why did they ask you that in court anyway?
Yeah, like
What
it's
make them ask
something. It's something to this, you know, because they didn't ask about
that?
they didn't
You
ask about
fully
Nick. They ain't
implicated.
ask about Nick Cannon. They ain't
I
ask.
wonder why they asked about Nick Cannon.
but they asked about you, brother. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
The thing with the Epstein, I would say probably I'd say anybody that went to that island is probably, one of them. But
Or at the
anybody
very
that
least, they saw something.
oh yeah, exactly. At the very least, they saw something. But there might be people that just are in acquaintance with him because, as fucked up as it sounds, niggas in high profile positions and billionaires are gonna bump arms. I'm
Mm-hmm.
obviously not gonna defend
Yeah.
any politicians or any billionaires, but I feel like a good majority of the people that are like on any flight logs or any lists, as long as they didn't actually go to the island, they probably
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
No, and I agree with that. Like, I think even like again, we talk about the whole Weinstein thing. I think if you put down a list of all the people who collaborated with Weinstein at one point, it's like, yeah, it would be tempting to say all of y'all were complicit, but it's like, nigga, complicit, like how complicit you are is a spectrum, brother. Like, it is not a I was fully there, I knew about all of this. No, I heard some rumblings, I kept my distance, and I tried to keep it business only. It's gonna be some niggas who that was their response. It's some niggas who they heard the rumors, they saw it for themselves, and then they kind of distanced themselves. Then there's gonna be some niggas who heard the rumors, saw it themselves, and then got involved. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of different ways that plays out. So just the mention or just people being mentioned with this person, again, of course, it's a nasty look. It's always gonna be a nasty look. And for me, my whole thing is, given what he was on, given how connected he was, I'm talking royals from other countries, somebody, like not even somebody, multiple agencies were probably involved with you. I'm just gonna be honest here, and that's spanning the globe, internationally speaking. I'm sure we can think of the one in the United States. I'm sure we can think of the one in the Middle East that was involved, and I'll leave it at that. But my thing is, it's like there's gonna be a lot of names on there because again, you had that much pull. Like, I mean, you were getting royals, you were getting princes and presidents and former presidents and niggas who ran for president and niggas who were senators and governors and movie stars and like nigga, you have names. So there's gonna be a lot of people who just are curious on some. Damn, what y'all getting into, boy? Oh shit, I'm on the plane with y'all. Yeah, I'm on the. Hey, why that girl serving me my drink look mad young? Like mad young now. Like mad, like OD young. Like
she should not be in the vicinity, the area, nothing like
like.
that.
And then why? Like, and then when she left the room, like, why did y'all say that's a hot piece of tail? Why did y'all say that?
Why did you ask if you got anybody younger?
Oh man, he said you. So how old is she? Nigga just gave him the glare, and then he looked at him, and they just nodded at each other. Why they ain't say nothing? Because he asked him a question. He asked him a question. Why didn't he respond to the question that was asked? Why did they just look at each other and then they knew something?
Brother, you are on the island now. If you keep asking questions, you're not going home. You shouldn't have took that flight.
Tough, but fair. Okay. No, okay. All right. No, I get it. I don't have to participate. Okay, no, I don't gotta participate. All right, cool. Is it wheelchair?
Being there is already enough. You don't gotta participate. You are going down if this ever comes.
Yeah, you're on the list, buddy. Like they signed you on the visitor list. Like somebody wrote you down. But like the wildest part was somebody was talking about with Stephen Hawking being named. They were talking about like, damn, Epstein Island was ADA accessible. Like, I'm just like,
with Stephen Hawking, that shit blew mine because at first I was like, how? But then, did you see that the fake transcripts for Stephen Hawking? That shit had me.
Was that awfully worded text message?
No, it wasn't a text message. Somebody photoshopped like the actual logs, and they highlighted a section to make it seem like it was legit.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it because this shit, like, I was legitimately in tears when I read it.
The one where it was like that he had like a fetish for
little people.
Yeah, all right. Did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Stephen Hawking's proclivities? Yes. He liked watching undressed little people solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard. Whoever came up with that, go to hell, first off.
That is insane. He like watching undressed little people solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard. Bro, I swear to you, Mr. Hawking, listen to me and listen to me good. If there is any level of truth to this, I'm gonna ball you up and toss you in a trash can. I promise you.
Yeah, and then like
I would almost prefer that to the alternative.
Now,
the
hold
little
on.
people were little people, not children. I don't want to say
No, but they were saying that was code for children. Like they were saying
Oh no, so
N-word.
that the
Yeah, I did
whole
see it. That's what I'm saying.
the little person on the chalkboard, that was Photoshop. Somebody made that up. That's why I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was funny. But he, in the court documents, they were saying that he did participate in orgies, and that what's his name, Epstein, put out a reward for anybody that could disprove Virginia, who was the person that was speaking in the
Yeah,
trial.
yeah,
They
it
put up
was.
money for anybody
Yeah.
to disprove her words, but they were saying that he somehow did participate in orgies.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because what they did post that was true is like things that we didn't know about Stephen Hawking, just of him being like a womanizer. So clearly,
I didn't know that either.
I'm sorry. I can't even truly say everything I'd like to say.
How you let a nigga in that
Nah, yeah, bro.
situation do
Like
that?
again, because I know how insanely ableist this will sound.
mm-hmm.
So
I
I'm
stand
not
for
gonna
it.
say it. I will not say it. But I really, how do you let the nigga with the chat GPT? It's crazy, bro. I'm sorry. This is, I don't, not even how do you let, I'm not even gonna do that. That just is infuriating to me. That is just fucking infuriating to me. This nigga out here with with Cortana and nah, man.
Yeah, because he was married to a woman, and then like she was in the medical field. I don't know if she was she was a nurse. He was married to a nurse. He cheated on her with another nurse,
How?
and
Okay,
who was
man.
like 39 years younger than he was. So, you know,
Wow.
yeah. So
Oh
let's
yeah, I believe everything that they were saying about me.
so
Oh
now
man, not again.
39 years younger.
Mm-hmm. The funniest part though was that typo-ridden email that Epstein allegedly sent to Ghislaine, and I was just like, I remember reading that email about and I was just like, you can issue a reward to any of Virginia's friends, acquaintance, family. I'm like, bro, everything was spelled wrong in this, and I was just like, I'm not gonna hold you. Y'all think I'm fucking stupid? Like y'all think I'm dumb as fuck? Like y'all think I'm dumb as fuck? I'm just asking. And mind you, it did say Stephen Hawking visited that island once. So again, you could do all, and you got to ride on a customized submarine that was ADA compliant. My brother, you were on that island. Let's not. So again, we can't talk about what happened on that island because don't nobody know what happened on that island, even though everybody know what happened on that island. But brother, man, my thing. That's the always thing I think to myself. Like once you got to the island, like was this a case of like they had like a clean version and a dirty version? Like you could just. All right, if you're not off the shit we on, then like go ahead over there and don't bring your ass over here. Or was it just like we finna do this anywhere, anyway, however we want?
It
And
was
if you
just a
don't like,
freak off.
yeah, like is it a freak off or is it like segmented? Like how does this play out? Like
It's an entire island, so I would imagine like
you could
maybe they
probably
have
do
the
both.
super
Yeah,
illegal shit confined to like certain areas, and if you don't want to be a part of it, like I would have a hard time believing anybody went to the island and didn't know what was going on.
I would too, or at
Who
least
could
not have
just
heard
randomly?
not have heard something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because like now it's public news, everybody knows. But like back in like 2007 when it was going on, imagine Chris Tucker, because people were saying like in 2020 when like I guess the first list came out, people were saying Chris Tucker, Naomi Campbell was on the list. Like, and this wasn't like a clientele list for trial trafficking. This was just people that were acquainted with Epstein and that flew with him. So like,
yeah. These are just like so pretty much anybody who ever got a favor from me or something. Yeah, like he was gonna.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Naomi Campbell was also implicated on this list that just came out as well.
oh,
Talk,
that's
talk
not
about
good.
it. Sure isn't. She ever been married to anybody that's suspicious?
Naomi Campbell?
Yeah.
No.
She's been in 2 serious relationships, right? Who was she messing with?
Skepta.
Formula One racing head Flavio Briatore. Okay. Whoever the hell that is. Russian billionaire. Never mind. I don't want to ask any more questions.
Russian billionaire. Okay.
Russian billionaire and the head of a sport organization.
Mm.
I don't know.
But they were
That's
saying like
weird.
her role could have been the fact that like okay, like she's obviously like a supermodel, so she
Mm-hmm.
could provide
Recruit
younger
more.
models.
Mm-hmm. Or you can identify who looks vulnerable, who looks this. Yeah, I
And
can
they
see.
would come
Again,
with
yeah,
you
I can see that.
because you're a supermodel. Like,
And in return, you just get bankrolled in one way or another.
yeah,
I can see that. I can see it. It's tough but fair.
that's
Now, Chris
fair.
Tucker, I'm like, I mean, shit, I don't know. I mean, I think the only thing with you is you just plugged in with Michael, which I mean, it's gonna look bad to some folks.
And
Dang.
Chris Tucker wasn't on this list. He was on the original one, like in 2020 or.
Oh yeah, he was on the one like it was like a screenshot of book or some shit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one, that list, that original list back then, that was you could tell that was just a list of like anybody I came in contact with, who I was cool with, or who I like
Yeah,
had
you
a
ever
combo
took a
with.
picture with him?
Yeah, you took a picture with me, you had a combo with me. You ever shook my hand and said, "Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. You doing some good work." Yeah, yeah. Give me your name and your number.
That nigga was just writing anybody's name down. Anything that he could throw around his stick, he was writing their name. Because it was everybody. Nigga was Chris Tucker, Beyonce is on there, Jay-Z. That feeds into the ultra rich billionaire Illuminati show. Like maybe even if you don't want to go there, it was like mid-tier celebrities that was on there. Kevin Spacey's on there, which I think he definitely was there.
Hey, look, knowing what people fail to realize, the mid-tier niggas get just many of them can get more play than the rich niggas because they want it more. Like it just feel like it matter how bad you want to do this. If you want to get wild freaky and you ran into him once and you find out this is his bag and that's your bag too, y'all finna keep fucking with each other. I can assure you that. Because you looking at it like, nah, I can't lose his number. Like he got the plug, bro. Like I'm gonna keep hitting this nigga up. So yeah, prayers down for all the folks mentioned. Or maybe neutral prayers, just prayers. I'm not gonna tell you which direction. Just prayers. But speaking of folks being exposed and getting cooked, I guess we could talk about Katt Williams because I watched about 2 and some change of this interview yesterday. It's a 3-hour interview. I watched about 2 hours and 20 minutes of it.
That was most of it. It was only 2 hours and 45.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So I pretty much watched most of it. But first off, it's pretty entertaining. I will tell you that. It was pretty entertaining. And boy, from minute 1 to the last second, there was no time wasted.
You can tell he was going to get that shit off.
Yeah. So where do we start? I wish I remembered the timeline of like who he got at first, but I remember Cedric the Entertainer was one of the first people he got at. Don't know if he was the first, but he was one of the first. So he had a whole beef with Cedric the Entertainer because Cedric the Entertainer sat on Shannon Sharp's podcast, as did Steve Harvey about 8 months ago. Mm-hmm. So think about it: 2 niggas who you got a problem with gonna sit on this podcast and gonna tell you a bunch of Ricky Smiley too. That's right. And so they all gonna get up here, and then each one of them gonna tell a different lie about this and about that. And so then, Katt gets up there and he says straight up, "Listen, at first he took Shannon Sharp to task at first, but I think he kind of caught like, all right, Shannon Sharp don't know no better because he don't know these folks. He don't know the intricacies of these things because most people don't know. So then I think Katt Williams started taking it as, all right, so I'm gonna do what they did, but I'm gonna promise you I'm gonna get the truth off too. So Katt Williams proceeded to lie about a lot. And some of the lies were out, like the lies were so old. No, it was hilarious. It was funny as hell because some of the lies were so egregious.
That's what made it so entertaining because I feel like anybody with common sense can tell the truth from the lie. I feel like all the shit that he was talking about, the comedians, I believe that he was telling the truth because
I believe
all the fallout. I've seen receipts for everything that he said. I've seen receipts in the coming days.
Mm-hmm.
But the absolutely ridiculous lies he was telling, like he said, he read 3,000 books when he was 8 years old.
I knew that was. He said none of them were fiction. Not one of them were fiction. I was just like, my
Oh
nigga,
my God.
stop it, bro. What are we talking about? It was just a couple of
It was
them.
a comedy special.
It really was. It was the one where he was talking about he used to I ran a 4.340. And then even Shannon was like, oh, a 40. Like, you want me to go to the liquor store? Like basically just saying, like, nigga, you ain't running no 4.340. You must be talking about a damn Steel Reserve or Old English if you talking 40s. And it, like, again, I'm like, Katt Williams, you ran a 4.340. Bro, stop it, bro. You are not CJ2K fast. You are not that fast. That's not you. And if you are, I have to see it. I will never believe this until you show me. But it was just hilarious. But so his whole thing with his beef with Cedric the Entertainer was sort of it was similar to his beef with Steve Harvey, except Cedric's was a little more personal because Cedric stole a joke from him. And again, this was an accusation made. Cedric came on the podcast, allegedly cleared this up, and then Katt got on here and said, "Okay, let me give y'all a timeline because all these things are recorded."
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to just sit up here and tell y'all whatever. He stole a 20-year-old joke. Like in 1998 on Comic View, I did this joke. I did it a few times on Comic View, and it banged off so well that at that point they started using it for the promo to get niggas, hey, on the next episode of Comic View, right? So it's like, how can you tell me that that's my joke? You've seen me a few times. Oh, you've seen me a few times between now and then, right? See my shows, talking about you love the show, talking about you love the joke specifically as well.
That's some nasty work to tell a nigga you love a joke when you're
And
already planning to steal it.
and then years later, my jokes get stolen. And it's the same joke. All you did was change one of the objects in the joke from a car to a spaceship.
That's dedication though, because who the fuck is going? He had to wrote that down somewhere, and he's just waiting. Like, okay, decade number 1 passed. Okay, it's been 15 years. Niggas definitely forgot about it by now. 20 years.
Nigga,
this joke is up for grabs now.
He said, "Bro, niggas do not remember Comic View jokes no more. Chill out. It's 2023, bro. It's over with. Like, you think they remember Lil Duval jokes, bro? Stop it." And so, but the funniest thing was all these things lined up. There was a video of Katt performing that joke in 98. There's a video of Cedric the Entertainer performing that joke about 20 years later in 2018. And it's the same joke, literally 90, 95%. And mind you, it's not like it's the same joke, and that's one of those jokes that you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's one of them jokes that's like hard, that's like, oh, anybody could have came up with this. You just freaked it a little bit. No, brother, this is a very specific joke that me and another guy workshopped together. I think Mark Curry was the other comedian. He's talking about him and Mark Curry workshopped this joke together. He had already did the joke in a shorter form. Mark Curry helped him build the joke out, make it bigger, all of that. And so the funniest thing is Katt Williams is basically just saying, well, at the end of the day, Cedric don't write. And that's the problem, because whether he stole it or whether someone on his team stole it or whether someone on his team took it and thought they could freak it and because you don't write your own shit, you're going to have that problem.
And that's when he got into the whole Cedric the Entertainer thing, because he said, how you an entertainer and you don't entertain? You don't sing, you don't dance, you don't even write your own material when it comes to jokes. So how are you an entertainer?
Yeah, and that's the part, because truth be told, it's perfectly possible Cedric the Entertainer himself didn't steal that joke. But the problem is, because you don't write your own jokes, someone who writes your jokes or someone who gives you jokes or gives you feed or whatever, they stole it. And you don't know no fucking different.
That's
because you don't write your own shit.
I didn't even know there was ghostwriters in the comedy community. Oh, yeah. I thought the whole point of comedians was niggas were funny. How do you have niggas writing jokes for you?
Well, I mean, think about Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live is the writer's room. Those niggas don't give up their own jokes most of the time. A lot of that is they write some shit for you because they work here, so they know the tone of the show and boo boo boo. So they write their own jokes for you. Problem is, again, same concept. If them SNL writers steal something and I get my stupid ass on TV and read it, now I look like I fucking stole from y'all. And it's my fault because I don't write my shit.
That's the difference, though, because SNL, it's a show, it's sketch comedy. Cedric the Entertainer was doing a stand-up show. It's different somebody writing a joke for you and you're on a TV show. That's just writing. A stand-up comedian having somebody else write jokes for him
for his stand-up,
that's crazy to me. You're not funny. You're just reading shit off a prompt.
You are, literally. Like at that point, like you got a Quentin Miller. That's crazy.
A fake chuckle man.
A fake chuckle man. He got a Quentin Miller. That's insane.
Exactly. You could be a comedian, but you could just be a funny guy. Like, I wouldn't even be mad. I know Drewski comes with his own stuff, but he's not a stand-up comedian. He just be on IG posting skits. If he had a whole writer's room of niggas coming up with those skits,
yeah, I would look. I'd be like, hey, look,
that's dedication. Y'all doing
get,
that thing.
not even, get them niggas a raise. Them niggas is busting that shit down, boy.
Yeah.
They because they are taking some concepts which we have seen videos on before, except guess what? They're not copying somebody else's take on that video. It's a whole new. So even if it's a topic that has already been brought up, and that's what that's the difference between who's funny and who's really not. Because it's like we can all talk about the same topic because as a comedian, you will. Think about how many comedians have spoken about cancel culture and said something about it. Now think about how many of them have been funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like anybody can talk about something. We can like look back in the 90s, early 2000s, everybody was talking about dating. Everybody was talking about race politics and black people and a black person being in a white neighborhood. And like everyone did this. But then when you copy my same joke, my same experience, like again, like Ali Sadiq got a joke about trail mix, right? Like how white people love trail mix. Like I did the research, I did the studies, He got a whole bit on it. You would look crazy to then talk about how white people love something so much and then do trail mix.
Mm-hmm.
Or then take the same joke and then swap trail mix out for Chex Mix. Like you sound crazy. Especially when you don't write it. Because at least if you're writing it, then it's confirmed you stole it. Right? But if you're not writing it, then it's even worse because it's like, one, you don't write your shit. Two, the niggas who do write for you stink too. Not even like you got good niggas writing for you. Because hell, look, we can talk all the shit we want about Quentin Miller with Drake's Ghostwriter. That nigga was putting them work in, wasn't he? Boy was putting the work in, wasn't he?
Damn sure it was.
Those was bangers coming out. So when that's the case, what the fuck I'm finna do but shut the hell up? I can't say much. Same thing. Like I said, if Drewski had a whole writer's room, I would say, look, them niggas getting it in. They getting the job done. So what the fuck? I can't say much. They getting the job. Them skits is, hey, they doing the dead. How many? It's like 3 or 4 of y'all. Like, yeah, exactly. And the fact that Cedric the Entertainer did as his closing joke too, when it was my closing joke. It's like, dog.
No, that's nasty.
And all of that's gonna be a stain. And then my thing is basically, Katt Williams was also doing the thing. Like when you talk about like these people, he was talking about Steve Harvey, the same sort of thing. Like Steve Harvey clowned Mark Curry for his show, and I forgot all Mark Curry's show. It was a long, long time ago. Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Now, what was Hanging Mr. Cooper about? He was a former basketball player, right? Who turned high school teacher and PE teacher, who later became the head coach, and da-da-da. Now, what is the Steve Harvey show? The same thing, but he's a principal and not a high school coach. It's basically the same show.
You know, when Katt Williams was going in on Steve Harvey, he said Steve Harvey has never been in a movie. And I literally had to Google it. That nigga's literally never been in a movie before. Ever.
Really?
I Googled IMDb. That nigga has never been in a movie.
Nah.
Oh, look it up. He produced what was it? How
Think
to Be
Like
a
a
Man
Man?
or Think Like a Man. He produced that.
Oh,
but he's
he wasn't
never
in
been
that?
in a movie. No.
Nah, he was in Mr. Bean's Holiday, right?
Nigga, what the fuck? What the fuck?
No, all right, my fault.
If you count The Kings of Comedy on DVD as a movie, since it's not on TV and on DVD, then he's been in a few movies. He's been in 7 movies.
I'm actually looking because I was thinking to myself, that's not true, is it?
I was thinking the same thing. I Googled it. His filmography is nothing.
Like he's done voice acting and da-da-da, but he's never been in a movie, is what I'm seeing. No, he was in Johnson Family Vacation. He played Mac Johnson. He must have been on screen for that. He had to be.
He was in Johnson Family Vacation with who?
Stop, yeah, stop.
With who? So his man's put him on. That don't count. That's like Adam Sandler putting all them same niggas, David Spade, fucking Rob Schneider. That's what that was.
There you go. Look at that. He in a scene. There we go.
He in a scene.
I wonder who wrote the scene though.
It wasn't Sergio Attorney, you know, right?
You said it wasn't what?
I said that wasn't Cedric the Entertainer. He don't right.
But yeah, so it was a laundry list of niggas. So again, he got it said for all of that.
He got Ricky Smiley. He tore Ricky Smiley to shreds.
Yeah, he was cooking Ricky Smiley because same thing. Ricky, like I don't even understand the motivation behind some of these lies. Like Ricky Smiley gets up there and basically says, "Oh, our roles were reversed. I was supposed to be Money Mike. He was supposed to be Santa." And da da da, boo boo boo. And then so basically, Katt was like, "Well, first off, at the time, your audience was a lot of like older black women, Christian, da da da. Why would you being the pimp be the role that they decided for you? How does that even line up with who you were at the time? One and two, he was like, and then the other thing he said is, "Oh, well, I took his role, da da da. But how can I take his role when over 300 black comedians auditioned for the job? If that was your role, then shit, 300 of us could have took your job. I was just the lucky one."
Even if he did take your job, that says more for him than for you. He out-act you.
Exactly.
And that's the lines. He wrote all of the lines.
Right.
He said that too?
Yeah, Katt Williams said he wrote the entirety of the lines for Money Mike. Specifically for Money Mike.
If you were supposed to be Money Mike, where are your lines at? What did you write for it?
Let me see what the Ricky Smiley Money Mike was supposed to look like.
What was the Ricky Smiley Money Mike?
Go ahead, show me. Show me the manuscript, the draft, the something, anything. Did you have a draft? No. That's weird.
Just had wear dress.
Wear dress.
Why didn't get the job?
They said, okay, no, he's good at wearing clothes. Let's make him Santa. But so that was the other thing that.
How many lines did he have as Santa?
Not many. I don't think he said anything, did he? He might have fought back. He might have did some grunts.
He has like one-liners.
Yeah, he probably had a few grunts when they was fighting, but yeah. So that was the other thing. And then even Katt was even talking about like, listen, there was supposed to be an essay in this scene with him and Damon, and he's like, and I had to fight to get that taken out. So yet again, if you were supposed to be originally be da da da, that means you were originally cool with that because I was the only person who got that scene taken out. So yet again, show me them lines that you wrote when you was Money Mike. Right? Own up to the fact that if you was Money Mike, then you was cool with that scene because I was the person who got it taken out. Like it's like
what Ricky was thinking when he went on Shannon's show and just lying unprovoked. Did he think Katt was just irrelevant and wasn't gonna come up there and defend himself? Or?
I just feel like it's ego a lot of times with these guys. Honestly, I feel like
I don't understand how it's ego because this nigga Ricky Smiley is not even a B-list. This nigga is like. Even in the black community, this nigga is like C tier. He's not even like an A tier black community actor. Gary Owens is higher than Ricky Smiley,
which is so sick.
So like you're not even a C tier black celebrity. How do you let ego take over and like lie about everything?
I think again, and Katt even said it himself. He's like, it's not up to me to answer why liars lie. They just lie. I don't know why they lie. He's like, I couldn't tell you. So again, who could tell you? Who could tell you? I mean, that's been proven to be a lie, clearly, because it's all there to look at and to see. Like, all right, that ain't quite it. Because if he wrote all the lines, he consulted all these people about being a pimp. He brought in Bishop Don Juan, a real pimp, not an actor playing a pimp. Again, I did all these things for the role. Explain to me how this is supposed to be your role beforehand. Tell me how it was supposed to go. Tell me how the conversation went. Which executive spoke to you and told you that? Like, if you're gonna do that, give me names. Give me because again, all you had to do is sit up here and like, oh yeah, Owen so and so. He told me I was gonna have a role. And these are real people. There are people involved in these decisions, brother. You can just say the names of the people, and we either will believe you or won't believe you, but somebody's gonna look into it. Same thing with the Cedric the Entertainer joke. That video never showed up on the pod. People looked into it and said, let me see the joke. And said, that's the same fucking joke.
Within a day.
Within it. Quickly. No Emmanuel. Quickly. So there was that. He got at Wanda again. Wanda Smith, not Wanda Sykes. He talked about the Taraji P. Henson situation. I thought his words on that was pretty poignant. I thought that was pretty I thought it was some real shit. What else? What else did he speak about? He said some shit about. Go ahead.
He paid for. I forgot her name, but he paid for a black actress's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah. I forgot which actress he named, and he's like, "Do you know her?" He's like, "No." He's like, "You ever met her?" He's like, I think once." And he was like, "Well, why you?" He's like, "Cause I mean, I just know the work she put in, so why wouldn't I?"
Oh yeah,
And
real
the funny
shame that
thing is,
continue to
as
happen.
this continued on, I mean, especially at this point, it's been 3-4 days or a couple of days. I've seen more and more comedians who's open for him, who've worked with
Coming
him,
out,
all
yep,
coming out and pretty much
talking
saying,
about
"Look,
how fandom dude
I
he
was
is.
supposed to get $700. I did my little set, thought I ate. He pulled me backstage. Hey, good shit. Keep it up. Da da da. Boo boo doo doo doo. Gave me the money. Now I ain't gonna count the money in front of him because that's disrespectful. So I go home. I go to a restaurant and I pull out the wad of cash at the restaurant. I'm looking like, hey, bro, this is 2 bands. I was supposed to get 700. Okay, shit. Like,
Yeah,
and that was a common theme of people paying him or him paying people more than what they thought. Da da da. And basically his
I
whole
saw
thing
that
was,
story. I saw another story of a dude that he watched the show, and then he took him on tour and did 130 shows
yeah, the
over
white guy.
Japan. Yeah,
Yeah, same shit. Like it's just like, and the thing I will say is like that's kind of the difference because you get some people who it's like they don't want niggas around them that like, for example, like I think with niggas like Steve Harvey, again, look where Steve Harvey is in real life. I think he is perfectly fine with exploiting any up and coming nigga to get his shit off.
hmm
And niggas like that, you never get too big to exploit somebody. In fact, I would argue the bigger you get, the more I would exploit y'all.
yeah. And you know what, Kat? He didn't even bring this up. Other people kept digging into this. They showed so many jokes that Steve Harvey stole over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like on his talk show,
Mm-hmm.
he did
Yeah, I
some
saw one of
about
those. I
not being
forgot
able
what
to
it was.
afford Halloween
The
costume, and he
Halloween
had to go to
costume, yeah.
the
He
box.
stole but guess what? But think about it. Bring it all back. He stole that from who? From Mark Curry. Who is Mark
Yep,
Curry? The guy who helped Cat with the joke
yep.
Cedric stole in the first place. Like it's like all comes full circle, brother. Like it's very clear.
And my thing is, why are y'all stealing? Y'all can't steal from like y'all stealing comedy jokes from the 90s. First off, it's 2020 or whenever he did this. That shit was barely funny when it dropped in the 90s, but now that shit was not funny. Niggas in the crowd was barely laughing. You can't steal newer material.
Well, they
But
gotta
even
still
worse.
you so that
Go ahead,
people
go.
don't catch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because think about it, all new material is online, it's
niggas
on
gonna see it.
Instagram, it's on YouTube, it's somewhere, it's documented, right? Nigga, if you did a set at the Laugh Factory in 1997, brother, there may never be video footage of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we may never see the actual video of that. Again, if Cat was not doing that stand up on Comic View, which is a televised event, if he was just doing that at a club, we probably
Niggas
never see that
don't
video.
know. Yeah.
Now we hear rumblings of it. People can tell us, "Oh, nah, I went to a show and he did that joke." So yeah, we'll still get proof one way or another, but we'll never have the video evidence of a random show you did at some not hole in the wall, but just you know what I mean, some mid-tier spot in 1999. Like we're never gonna know that. So those are the jokes you would think you can steal. But the only problem is again, I would argue like you don't even work hard enough at stealing. You don't
Yeah.
even work hard enough at thievery. You're not even a good thief. And that's bad, bro. You gotta be a good thief. Be good at whatever you do. If it's thieving, then be good at it. Be nice at that. Like don't half-ass the thievery on top of half-assing the comedian shit, on top of half-assing that I support my community. Like, bro, you not doing nothing for real.
No. Who else was
So
he going under the bus? Oh yeah, he was talking about Kevin Hart. And
yeah. And it's
I,
so
I
Mhm.
I was just about to say I believe him about Kevin Hart too. Because Kevin Hart, there was like not necessarily, I don't care about none of the dress shit that he was talking about. All the conspiracy theories about niggas in Hollywood wearing dresses to emasculate. I don't give a shit about that. But I believe when Katt Williams said there was at least 5 roles that he turned down that all went to Kevin Hart. Because
Mhm.
Kevin Hart went on like a stretch from like
Mhm. Mhm.
2012 to like
Like Get
2015.
Hard and all of the movies.
Get
Yep.
Hard with Will Ferrell. I could see
Mhm.
every movie he was in. I could have
I can
seen
see
Katt
Cat
Williams
Williams in
in
them.
it. So
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
1000% believe that everything that he turned down, the scraps just went to Kevin.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I
Absolutely. Like
believe that when he was saying that Kevin was a plant because most of his audience was on the East Coast, and he said, so how did he go to a show on the West Coast and do a sellout show?
Talk about it. But I think a lot of the movies, right? Like, I mean, Death at a Funeral. I'm looking at now that Let Go, that movie. Looking at a couple more. Let's see, shit about last night. Think Like a Man 2, School of Dance, which also had Katt Williams in it. Hey, Kevin Hart wasn't in this, was he?
In what movie?
School Dance.
School Dance. Is that the movie with the
Yeah, Ride Along. Yeah. Central Intelligence. Like, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
never seen School
Night
Dance.
School. Yeah, it's a few of these. It's a few of these where I'm like, yeah, I could easily see that these are also could be Cat ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the funniest
Okay,
thing is
back though on a little bit of that.
Mhm.
So the first thing being that I'm still workshopping this thought, but I think it's interesting how, in relation to like the comedians like wearing dresses, like Black comedians wearing dresses and things like that, and like however you feel about that, I think like we can all agree that it is something that's feminizing. But I also think it's interesting that Katt Williams would say that when he's consistently typecasted as a pimp. And it's interesting how like you have this pushback for like a rape scene and pushback for wearing a dress or being presented as a woman, but not for you being a Black man that is consistently casted as a sex trafficker, and also giving a job to a literal sex trafficker. And if I look at Katt Williams IMDb, I can't firmly say that I could see him in any of these roles because I've never really seen him in a movie where he was not playing that character or some semblance of that character. Whether it was a voice acting, whether it was an actual like live action movie, he's always playing like a man in a full suit with pimp vernacular implications that he's a pimp, actually like treating women like hoes, calling women bitches and hoes. That's his whole get up. So I really couldn't see talking about range. I don't think you got the most range in the business, and I'm not gonna pretend like you do.
Right, yeah.
You're very funny. You're funny, but I just think like because of what he's saying, because he's saying a lot of right things. I think we're looking over some of the fact that like you are also typecast. So you're not typecasted in a dress, but you're typecasted as being a sex trafficker.
Well, I'm glad you said that because he has an interview addressing this in 2015, right? So in 2015, he did an interview with the Virginia Pilot, which I guess is like a paper in Virginia. But he was saying that he began turning down roles where he played a pimp because it no longer aligned with his trajectory as an actor and comedian. When he became famous for the portrayal, Katt said he wanted to avoid becoming a gimmick. He said, it's the reason, these are just his words, it's the reason I can be the pimp comedian and 17 years later, I haven't told the joke about putting a woman on the street because it was never about that. So hold on, let's go on. He said, okay, added that he changed his topics once he began feeling like he was being typecasted as a pimp. Doing so earned him roles outside of that ego, like the Alligator Man one, and there's a few other ones that they mentioned. I don't fucking know about any of these.
So
But
the only recent performance that I can remember from Katt is the Alligator Man. I haven't seen him in a lot of movies outside of like him as a pimp. And then I guess First Sunday where he was the choir teacher or whatever. So like I said, I haven't seen a lot of stuff other than the Alligator Man and his comedy specials. So I'm looking through his filmography too. I haven't seen most of these, so I can't say like what he was doing in any of these.
yeah, now I know in School Dance he wasn't a pimp. I know in that movie you just mentioned he wasn't a pimp. First Sunday he wasn't a pimp.
He was on Blackish.
Was he?
He was on Blackish in 2019, one episode. He was in Jack Boys.
I suppose so.
This nigga's done a lot of shit that I haven't seen. I guess because of his quote unquote morals and he doesn't want to do typecast. So in his interview, he's saying he turns down a lot of roles. So I guess that's why he doesn't have a crazy
Yeah.
filmography. Like, I've
Last
seen
year he was in
most
some
of his stand-up
movie.
specials, but
Yeah,
he
last
was
year
in.
he was in some movie where he was a doctor. So yeah, that's my thing. Like, I understand that we only know him as that because again, that's where the most of it. I mean, think about it, that was the peak of us seeing and visualizing Katt Williams.
Yeah, but also you're referring to these actors that wore dresses in the same time that you were being a pimp. Those actors do not do those roles anymore either. So it's like, I'm just saying, if it goes for them, like when's the last time you seen them in a dress?
Martin Lawrence, yeah, it's been a while.
The same time that we seen you playing a pimp.
Yeah, but I think what he's speaking to is
he's speaking about that time specifically because the niggas that were on the show were only relevant in that time. Like, what has Ricky Smiley been in the last 10 years?
well, I wasn't even gonna say that per se, right? Although I mean the answer is nothing, but I was gonna say more so along the lines. I think he's speaking to the so what you're talking about, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, is that the implications of you playing a pimp is derogatory to your community, you being a black man in a dress is derogatory to your community, among other things, right? So there's that commonality between these two things. And I agree with that 100%. I think what Katt specifically is referring to is that within that, we have to understand that when we talk about who is inflicting this upon us, the pimp thing kind of came from Katt, whereas the women in dresses thing didn't come from black men.
But if it came from him, then how could he say that he was being typecasted? Because he may have done it once, sure.
Because they loved it. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's like
the white guys loved it.
Like Medea being Tyler Perry chose that, and then that ended up being like what he's best known for.
Well, again, and Katt Williams did say that too. Did he choose that, or was he just not good enough to play a man in any movie? When have you seen him play a good man in any movie? Has that role ever been good?
In his own movies. I've seen him play a man in his own movies.
No, I've seen him play a man. Is it good? Is it any good? Because I would argue it's not. I've heard that Alex Cross, I think that was the one I seen. That wasn't great. I've never seen him.
By and large, too, in the response to this, I think we just lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, we can look at something like a black man being told to wear a dress as something that's directly derogatory to the black community, but and emasculating. But then we assign
but we don't do it for pimping. Yeah, absolutely. No, and that's 1,000% a fact. Because let's be real, like you just said, you calling a pimp a human trafficker is already like. There's people who will be like, whoa, what? Nigga, that's literally what a pimp does. Like, that's the whole thing. That's the bag. That's the entire bag. Now, we don't see it that way because, like you said, that's the issue with the community where one thing's accepted and it's glorified and we idolize it to some extent. Whereas the other thing, when you and the nigga in the dress, nah, that never got played from niggas.
And I feel like the imagery of a black man being that is harmful to like you think that white directors and like producers would not want to portray that imagery as well, and it's just like then
they do.
And it's like if he feels that that no longer aligns with my values, but then you just talked about how like you hired I wanted them to get an actual pimp for the role. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at it because he did a Pimp Named Slipback in the Boondocks in 2007. My thing was, where was he a pimp after 2007? He was in The Perfect Holiday. I don't know who he was in The Perfect Holiday. He might have been a pimp in it. I'm looking. He was someone named Delicious. So I mean,
come on,
I'm just saying. He was someone named Delicious.
His own comedy specials.
Yeah.
Pimpadelic. Like this is literally his bag.
Remember, the pimping stopped in 2008. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
but like you said, you accept the same grace.
Too.
Yeah. My thing is the same grace that you were talking about with all these other folks. You know, but it's not the same for you. Like you get to portray what you portray for 4 or 5 years, get your shit off, get on, and then switch to something different. But when we do the same thing, it's looked at like we're part of the. And again, I think
era.
But I don't think he's
annoying me about his. What was annoying me about his argument about black men in dresses? He never was outright saying it, or maybe sometimes he was, but he was alluding to the fact that this was some sort of Illuminati ritual and how they wanted to emasculate black men, and how once you put on that dress, that's how you catapult your fame or something like that. And he even said like there was a couple roles he turned down because he didn't want to give up his holes and stuff like that. And my whole thing with the emasculation of black men and wearing dresses, I don't think specifically that. Well, first off, I don't believe in the Illuminati. Yes, I believe there's background deals going down where niggas are sucking dick for roles. That's been confirmed 1,000 times over. But I don't believe in this whole Illuminati shit where you got to put on a dress or you got to give up a hole to get put on. My thing is, and I saw a good TikTok video about it. The whole thing about white directors in Hollywood trying to emasculate black men by having them put on dresses, that's not really an agenda that's being pushed. They're not pushing an agenda. What it is it's black stereotypes for black women. Because if you go back to the old days, like characters like Mammy, you know, black women taking care of white children. There's different cast of women. And so this is kind of like a safe way to do a minstrel show. We're not gonna have nobody put on black paint and red lips. But we can have black men act like look at Norbit. Look at
literally.
That was the angry black woman.
Yeah,
Big Mama's house. That's the Mammy character that's taking care of children. So it's like minstrel shows without. It's like light minstrel shows. So the whole, I feel like he's looking at it the wrong way because you know that's how niggas are. A nigga in a dress. I'm not gonna do that. That's emasculating to me. That's gay. I'm not gonna do that. So from their perspective, they're looking at it like, no, man. If they want me to sell my soul to put on that dress. I'm not doing that. No, they just want to laugh at you because you're black and you're doing a stereotype. That's all it is.
And they want to laugh at black women in both of these scenarios, both of these characterizations, whether you're a pimp, whether you're some
who is the exactly who's really the joke here?
The joke in every single one of these. All of these ends up being black women, either our pain and suffering or what we look like, what we act like is hee hee ha ha funny.
Exactly. And that's what was really taking me out. Like he had a lot of good stuff in the interview, but once he started talking about the whole putting on a dress and the Illuminati, I was like, nigga, you're missing like the whole point. Like, obviously, I don't know your perspective and what you were seeing, but I know what I'm seeing.
I think for me again, and I'll probably leave it after this, but I think for me, like I definitely agree with exactly what y'all saying. Where like you said, like one's a minstrel show, the other one is playing on harmful tropes about the black community. Ain't that a minstrel show too? It's the same shit. I think he's more so speaking to the fact that one of these is a white thing in terms of these white men at studios are putting black men in dresses. It's no one's idea but theirs. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what they were deciding to do on their own volition. They weren't deciding to put pimps into movies until Katt introduces the pimpery. So I guess he's looking at it like from a perspective of I introduced that. So of course now I'm being typecasted because they saw how much that banged off. Whereas with the men in the dress shit, those folks are making y'all do shit to get the like, all right, put the dress on and then I can promise you a few more roles. And then not only that, I think, and I mean, you know, me and Raevin, you talked about this earlier today, where we were talking about like, I think when you put on the dress, it's not just about the emasculation, fuck all of that for a second. You are signaling something to somebody. Now, what that something is and who those somebodies are, that's up for debate, right? But I think that kind of speaks to something greater, right? Where it's like, when you put that dress on, it's not just like, oh, I just put the dress on and this is like something I did, It's more so like, I put that dress on. I'm now sending the message out to anybody who's, you know, who does that to folks, right? Anybody who takes holes or does any of that stuff, that maybe he's cool with getting his shit took. And granted, funniest thing is,
you think it's like a slope. Like, if he put on that dress, maybe he could be convinced.
That's what I think it is. I don't think it's like this conspiracy where you put it on and you had to slob on it just to get the chance to put it on. No, I think it's once you put that on, that signifies something to them. And then they think to themselves, all right, I can approach you with it. I'm gonna run up on it. And now, mind you, they might approach you with it anyway, just because you a nigga that's popping. I'm finna give you the offer no matter what. Same thing, same reason why Katt Williams got the offer, and he wasn't doing none of that shit. You get what I'm saying? He was talking about the same thing where niggas was offering the same shit to him that they offered to the men in the dresses. So it really didn't matter how you played it, because you were finna get that offer no matter what. Especially when.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, especially when the stereotype is a stereotype that is harmful to black folks, that they know that they can use. And once they saw the draw of this and they saw the public opinion, oh, niggas have a, like, again, when it comes to black men in dresses, niggas found it funny, but then there's a strong contingent of niggas who don't like it. When it comes to the pimping, especially at that time, you really didn't like, there was always a contingent that didn't like it, but you heard way more from the people who did. So they looked at that. That was a much more acceptable evil for them, which is why they were typecasting his ass after that.
I think it's just interesting that even after looking at this interview, that people, because that's still the reaction today. People have more of a problem with the dress than they do about you portraying a pimp.
Oh yeah, with gay shit, with you can take your pick. Take your fucking pick. There's like 18 different things they'll put over human trafficking, which is insane to me.
And then when we talk about like the typecasting, and it's like what you would back to like what I'm saying, like taking the pimping out of it, even though you've played a pimp more times than any of these people have played a woman, taking the pimping out of it, like it's, I think making it a problem, like I think people are emphasizing it too, like magnifying it in the sense that like, oh, you have now like you've played a woman 6 times, you've played a woman 4 times, and it's like I've only a select few we could say have played, because once you play a big black woman, you gonna have to only play her in that iteration of the movie, or because you can't do it twice for 2 different, because you're gonna look the same. Like Big Mama's
Right,
House.
so it's got to be the same series, or it's just like it ain't much you can
Big
do.
Mama's House, you're gonna get Big Mama's House 2, Big Mama's House 3, okay. But you will never be a fat black woman in another movie that is not related to Big Mama's House.
Yeah, or in another movie where the joke is not that you're clearly not a big black woman. Like,
now
like they're never gonna give you a serious role.
Right. And we can argue. We talk about Tyler Perry. Martin Lawrence was a woman before Tyler Perry was ever a woman.
Talk about it. So was Eddie Murphy.
Also, what I was say was, I think exactly that's what I was about to say with Eddie Murphy. That just clicked something in my head. I don't even think it's about putting on a dress. I think it was a really big thing in that time for fat suits. Like think about the Nutty Professor.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny as hell at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nutty Professor, he didn't even have to dress as a woman. The nigga was just in a fat suit, and then he kept that going. And then he came out with Norbit and put on a dress. And he was Rasputia.
And you know what? That was literally the time. Those late 90s, 2000s. That was the time.
Fat phobia and anti-blackness and misogyny all wrapped in one. Like if you were, and I know being a plus size black woman, I know this firsthand, because if you were a child growing up in this time and you were plus size, the shit that people were gonna call you was going to be those women, and that was gonna be
the media references.
Yeah, that was gonna be the media.
The precious, the this,
you're
the
gonna
that.
You're gonna be called Rasputia. You're gonna be called Big Mama. You're gonna be called all those things because that was what was funny at the time. And again, black women, black girls are the brunt of these jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, I forgot. He also had that weird ass joke about Gaza. Don't know what that was about.
That was crazy.
What did he say? I don't even want to know.
It was I don't know if I can repeat it, but it was it was basically like he's basically giving the analogy, like when he went up to, remember that Wanda Smith, the black lady who he was talking on the radio show.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to her, and when him and her got into it, he's basically saying, like, listen, like, if you are somebody, like, if you are a terrorist and you poke at me, I'm gonna keep firing at you until it's nothing but rubble left. And you can imagine where he went with that from there. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so I was just like, oh, that shit caught me way off guard when I heard it. I was like, oh, wow, okay, I damn, nigga, I didn't think that was coming. What the hell?
I was unfamiliar with the game.
I was very unfamiliar. So, but yeah, so a lot of people fired back at this, and you know, I think a lot of people look. Ultimately, like I said, the nigga told a lot of truth. He said a lot of bullshit. He said a lot of some problematic.
That's been my main takeaway with this. He said a lot of truth. I think he told more truth than he told lies, but also the nigga very clearly has some mental stuff going on. But
take that up.
I mean, listen, what? Listen, I always, you could point me to a celebrity and I'll tell you the same.
No, the biggest lie, the lie that he said when he said, "I have never done a hard drug in my life." I like, all right.
I was like, bro, not once, bro. Stop.
That nigga was telling 2 truths and a lie, but the lie was overshadowing the truth every fucking time.
When you sit on a couch with brown liquor and talk for 3 hours, there is no way. There's no way that everything that comes out of your mouth will be good.
It's not possible. It's not feasible.
That is fundamentally impossible.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, so we'll see what the fallout of this is. Like I said, it made Ludacris drop a freestyle. Like first off, responding to Illuminati allegations with a freestyle is insane. Like, just shut up. Like, what are you
responding to your wife being light skinned and ugly?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I didn't know he was responding to Illuminati shit.
Well, it was probably both.
To his wife.
It was both at that point, and that's my issue. Where it's like you didn't properly respond to any of these things. Like, this is kind of crazy. But all right, get your shit off, I guess.
I know Shannon Sharp happy as hell though, because his videos be averaging like 1 million, maybe 1.5 at the most. I wouldn't even say averaging. That shit's at like 18 million right now.
Oh yeah. That shit's about to do crazy numbers. Cause like,
and then all the extra clips he got.
Yeah, because his pod did do numbers. I will tell you that. But like again, that shit doing that, it don't never do that. Let's be real here. Like you said, like it'll get to 1, depending on who it is. If it's somebody they really care about, it'll get to 1. It might get to 500,000 at the lowest type shit. But nigga, getting 13 overnight. Like, mind you, he did a DaBaby interview a month ago that I knew nothing about. That shit got almost 1 million views.
Nigga, I didn't even see clips on his own IG with DaBaby clips from the pod.
Nah, oh my God. Yo, hold on. I'm about to say something. This is going to sound like the meanest hate in the fucking world. I want to apologize in advance to Corday because this is going to sound crazy. Corday had an episode from 2 months ago. That bitch got 98,000 views. 98,000, bro. He did an interview with Bruce that got 7,000, 100,000 views.
Would you watch a conversation between YB and Corday and Shannon Sharp?
No, listen to what I'm saying though. It don't matter who we get on there. The numbers typically be a few 100,000. That shit didn't do Nathan. That shit didn't do Nathan. Nathaniel.
I would say there's probably
more your question,
Bruce fans in the world than there are Corday fans.
It gotta be, nigga. I know that now. I promise you, I know that now.
Who is Corday's audience? The only reason I know him,
Naomi Osaka fans.
That's what I was about to say.
Formerly, because they broke up. So yeah, I mean, you might have lost some of them. So I don't know.
I didn't even know they broke up.
Didn't they? Maybe I just made that up.
Nah,
hold on. I can't cook him for having 98K views and lie about them breaking up. I gotta check and see if that's
please put some respect on that Naysayers name.
I can't do both to my Naysayer. Oh come on! Don't get this ad out of my face. After they following speculation, they had a split. Fuck you, nigga. Did they split or not?
It's speculated.
It's been speculated.
What does YBN stand for?
Young broke niggas. You better not. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's the opposite of young broke niggas.
Youthful black Nubians. No.
Young boss niggas.
Young boss naysayers.
Young boss naysayers. But yeah, so I don't know if they broke up. Apparently it's a rumor, so maybe that ain't the case. But even so, yeah. So needless to say, listen, between Katt Williams, between the Naysayers, Epstein List, I mean, we got a hell of a year ahead of us, man. Boy, do we have a hell of a year ahead of us. And you want to know who's been the worst contributor to what we're dealing with so far? These lifestyle TikTok niggas putting a tripod any and everywhere in that motherfucking house, boy. So obviously I'm being a bit dramatic. It's really not that deep. But there was a video of a dude who
There's been multiple videos.
There's been multiple dudes. Yes, there's been multiple dudes. I don't know none of them by name. But pretty much it's just a bunch of videos of guys who, hey, get ready with me. I mean, I don't know if again, some people are probably unfamiliar with all this shit. I had seen the initials GRWM for years, never knew what the fuck it meant.
I was going to say there's been more women that have done this for years.
Oh yeah, this has been their thing for years. Like and again, I'm not sure when niggas got into it. I don't know if they were always into it. Did just no one cared? I have no idea. But so now there's an uptick in visibility at the very least of the men that do this, black men typically. And first off, watching a white boy get ready is crazy. But
I was about to say, I want to see a white boy get ready with me, and it's just, I want to see a redneck get ready with me.
and he just wake up and put his clothes on, no shower.
What do you want? I was say I want to see him wake up, take a swig of the beer on the nightstand from the night before,
put a lip in.
That nigga, come on,
pack a lip.
I want to see that nigga get in the truck, go to the gun range. I want to see that nigga go mudding. That would be more entertaining than seeing a nigga wake up, listen to Drake, and go to Target.
So yeah, literally, like, so the video. But the craziest part is there were people who are very angry at seeing these videos.
I don't know why niggas are angry. It's just corny to me. It's not like,
well, you know why people are just fucking up, just ridiculous with. But honestly, this was hilarious to me because the one thing I kept thinking to myself is every time I watch one of these videos, I kept like thinking to myself like, okay, you had to cut and change the angle there, like, and I'll just count how many, and I was like, dog, you had to find 12 angles for this 45-second video. This is a production. Like, this is actually
more people making fun of this and showing like how ridiculous it is. Where like they'll do the whole setup. They'll show themselves get out of bed, set the camera up, then get back in bed, and then act like they're waking up. Because that's what you have to do. If you want that shot of you waking up in the morning, you got to already be up. There's no way the camera's already set up.
Yeah,
and then the idea of going to a grocery store, parking, getting out of your car, go set the tripod up somewhere else.
Yeah, walk past the tripod's view, going back to the tripod, shifting the tripod to the front door, walking up to it, walking past the tripod, coming back for the tripod, shifting the tripod to the fruits aisle, picking up some bananas.
My thing is, like, do you have no shame? Are you not embarrassed?
Listen.
Like, niggas around you seeing you just set up tripods and walk around, like.
That's one thing I always say that I think that is so powerful about these people. Truthfully. Like, no, I swear to you, no bullshit. Like,
no, I know what you mean, yeah.
To me, that is power in a sense where, like, you are doing something that you know makes you look kind of wild in public, and you simply could not care less because this is keeping them lights on. And you just looking at it like, look, brother, I'm making more than you probably do at that little desk job you got. And all I do is film myself shopping at Target. Good and Gather. Oh, these are so dope. Oh, shit. Trail mix? Whoa. All right. Hold on. Let's switch the camera out. Let's go to the fruit aisle. Do I want mangoes or do I want oranges? Maybe a tangerine. Switch to the next aisle. Do I want grass-fed bison? Or, like, nigga, you are getting paid for this.
Now, you are getting paid for this. It's definitely corny, but I respect it. But the one nigga that I don't respect, because this is the king.
I know who you're gonna talk about.
This is the corniest nigga to do this. It's that one nigga that he was on the phone and he had his friend text him. He named it Toxic, and she said, "What you doing? Nothing. Can I come over? No, I'm at peace." And then
hold on. She said no. No, he said no. Then she asked why, and then he said, "Because I'm at peace." I'm like, you are so corny.
There's levels to corny, and this is corny that I think should be punishable by jail time.
That is a corn husker, brother. You are from Nebraska. That is a corn husker.
That nigga needs at least, I would say, a year in jail, and then parole afterwards with no electronics for up to 3 years.
Yeah, they need to treat him like an offender for real.
That's the same dude
that offended public sensibilities.
He did another video that started with him mid-air, like he jumped before the camera landed, and he measured the bar table or something, and then he built the chair. Like, okay, brother, we've all built chairs before.
Why did you have to jump off of your island counter to do this?
That nigga is the worst. I'm hoping for the worst for him.
But the funniest
videos, I actually like the videos.
But again, I always say, it's just humorous to me. So I really don't pay, like, I don't have any emotional, like, I don't never feel like, I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, and so that's why it's so funny to me, though, to watch people who genuinely and truly hate this content. But because you guys have
getting mad over that.
Well, like, but again, but because these people have fucking social media and algorithm brain, they can't not interact with it. I have to let the world know how much I hate it, because otherwise, how else do I get my likes? How else do I get my reposts if I don't get an easy comment off here?
Yeah.
And it's so sick to see because you saw it with Groove and Gorilla. You saw, imagine some of these niggas I do not like. I like that nigga. It got to the point to where I stopped. Like, I think I might have retweeted or reblogged something once or retweeted something once. Like, yo, get this nigga off of my shit. And after that, I never touched that shit again. If you posted it, I'm blocking you immediately. That was all you would get from me. It's niggas on my blacklist now who I probably ain't cool with. Nah, nope. Sorry. You're done. You're finished. I'm not giving y'all niggas that. You're not getting no promo. And it's the same thing. We do this with everything. We hate something. We hate something. We can't look away. We can't not promo it. We can't not give it some love because people fail to realize if you got a hit tweet clowning this nigga, right? Clowning, you hate that shit. Hit tweet. Nigga, if that tweet got 25,000 likes and however many hundreds of thousands of views, let's just say 10% of them people go check out who this guy is. If you got 200,000 views, that's 20,000 people who check them out. Let's say that 20,000, let's say maybe only 10% actually see what's up with him and follow. That's 2,000 followers you bought this man for nothing. That's for nothing. And that's my problem. Y'all fail to realize this content's for somebody. It's why I have a Target sponsorship. It's for someone. I couldn't tell you who. I don't know who. But if I'm getting a Target is hitting me up for ads and they letting me do shit in their store that I promise you they probably not finna let nobody else do in their store, it's for a reason. And it's just like,
it's like people, the reaction of like, oh, people are watching you like doing this. And I don't know if y'all know, there is a black woman who her whole TikTok page is going to Target, finding a random black girl in Target and giving her a makeover in the Target, like putting her wig on and everything, like the full process. And like, I don't even think she really, like, she'll get in trouble sometimes, but it's just like people don't even really be noticing it. Like people don't pay as much attention to you as you would like to think that they do. So
yeah, a lot of people don't care.
So I don't even think about, oh, people saw him, with the niggas do not give a fuck.
Yeah, I feel like I treat it like, again, like you go to New York City and a nigga can be doing the wildest, most insane shit in New York City, and you're probably gonna walk right past him and not make eye contact.
You're gonna deliberately try to not make eye
contact. You're going to deliver, like you're gonna see it. Why is that? You know what? That's not my fucking business. Don't know.
And it's like, if you live in LA or New York, especially if you live in LA, you've been used to this.
Yeah, you've
for
seen
the
this
last 7 years. Like this has been a thing on YouTube far before it ever was a thing on TikTok, and you're used to seeing people walking around with tripods. Like that is just how it is. So I feel like if you get into it back, and it's like you got to show that you got a range. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing the whole like fake texting thing. Like that's corny for sure, but it's also just to get one, a variety. Two, he probably has picked up on the fact that y'all think he's corny, so he's probably leaning into the corniness.
But yeah, that's the only way you can fight that.
Yeah, that's gonna get him sponsorships. That's gonna get him, views, because they want to see how many views you're getting. Whether it don't matter if those views are coming from people that like you or don't like you.
Exactly, it's just metrics. It's just numbers. Yeah, impressions are impressions, views are views, followers are followers, brother. As I promise you, like. And that's the trick that y'all, again, because I was even, now mind you, remember we said this last year about that white girl who was I don't even remember what her name was.
She was wearing braids or something.
Yeah, she was like boxing or something. Lord knows what happened to that white girl. She didn't do shit with that. But to me, that was a personal fault because you had everything lined up for you. You easily could have done something with it.
I knew that was coming. Like, she'll be done for next week. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, she just didn't look like the type, like her, like you could tell, like when all you got is shock, outrage, but you don't have any understanding of like metrics. Yeah, not even anything, like, baby, please. You do not need much to offer. You're a white woman. Like, you don't have to offer anything. Like, that's the beauty of being a white woman. But the problem is, it's like, you have no plan other than piss people off, make people angry, because you don't understand how none of this actually works. You don't get search engine optimization. You don't understand marketing. You don't understand communication. You don't understand these concepts. All you know is I make black people mad. They yell at me in comments, but that's still views. Okay, cool. But then you still have to do something with it. And the problem is if all your content is just poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear. A brand can't fuck with that. They can't get jiggy with that. What is some the people with real money? What are they finna do with that? So nothing. So of course, like her shit fizzled out because she was just a bum. She don't know what she doing with that shit. She just got eyes on her, and all she thinking is, I don't want y'all to look away. I don't want y'all to look away. Y'all some naysayers. Yeah, y'all looking at me, right? Like, baby, all they doing is looking at you. Then when some other idiot comes around, they're gonna look at them, they're gonna stop looking at you, and then you're fried because you didn't do nothing with the look.
That's the circle. I mean, look at the Island Boys. The niggas went from niggas hate watching them to kissing on camera on OnlyFans.
Yeah, because you're gonna find somebody better to hate watch. Like this is just the cycle of
Yeah, it's a fad. Yeah, and that's the people who get into these grifts. They fool and trick themselves into thinking I bring something unique that you hate about. No, you don't. You're just some white girl. You're just some white boy. You don't bring anything different to it.
You're some white girl or some white boy. You just by default, you're gonna get an audience.
Yeah.
Black people are mad at this white girl for having braids. Oh, I gotta support her. Lean instead of fucking continuing to have people hate watch you. Just focus on that white audience you got now, because you can build a brand.
That's what I mean by you have to have something to offer. Something. It doesn't have to be anything good. It doesn't have to be anything but something aside
you just
from
have to have something.
the reason for which people are hate watching you. Unless
Yeah, because again,
you're actually gonna elevate that. Like if you can elevate on that hate and but if it's gonna be the same level of just bullshit, then nobody's gonna really watch that for too long.
Just antics and shit. Because again, it's the same thing. We see the same thing with these right-wing grifters where you do all of this anti-woke shit and then you get all these eyes on you. You get all these people who pay attention to you. And then in 6 months, you niggas are nowhere to be found because that shit is not sustainable. There's a new person who the left hates and who's anti-woke that we fucking with now because they willing to say X, Y, and Z and they willing to talk about the new shit. Meanwhile, you still stuck on just my pronouns are fuck and you, and it's just like, bro, they've heard that because that's what they all say the same joke. Everyone says the same joke. You have to offer something different.
Oh god,
that shit be and they be cracking up, clapping and everything. Not my pronouns is fuck you. This is hilarious. No, it's not hilarious, but it's only hilarious for the moment because you're the person saying it. When another idiot says it in 4 months, I'm gonna flock to them and glaze them, and that's the part these niggas do not get because that shit is only temporary. Like you said, if you don't cultivate that audience, like, all right, I got 300,000 of y'all looking right now. In a week, I'm gonna have 50,000 looking. If I do well, I might have 80,000 looking. If I do terrible, I might have the same number looking as I did when I started this shit. So it's like you gotta make those looks translate to something. Like you said, the views is all the people care about. The impressions, the views, the followers. That's all of that a label cares about or organization cares about. But at the same time, like you said, you have to also offer something because I don't care if you got 50,000 followers off of hate. Are you about to just keep upping the ante with hate? Like,
and Target is never giving you a sponsorship if that's your audience. If they can see that all of your comments,
you're not getting a Stanley deal, sister. I promise
you're not getting a brand deal for that.
That Patagonia deal is never coming. Like, you understand that?
Stanley, is that shit on the list to talk about?
It's not, but we can talk about
that shit. Is mind blowing to me. I legitimately don't understand.
It's crazy. Like, first off, if you a nigga who bought a Stanley for your girl, shout out to you. That's some real nigga shit. But that's not my point. The point is, it's something fishy going on at the Stanley headquarters. The Stanley headquarters. There's something going on here. A little MK Ultra type shit.
I just heard about Stanley's yesterday. I had no idea what it was. I think I was in a group chat, somebody sent a video of niggas lined up outside of Target for metal cups. Like it's Black Friday and niggas are getting PS5s for $200.
Oh, speaking of $200, trust me, they are reselling for $200.
It is a fucking cup. I don't understand. Somebody has to explain. It's a cup.
Okay, I will say that for me, I have water bottles come in seasons, and people don't know this if they're not part of like.
Why? They're just bottles.
Okay, this is why. So reusable water bottles since I would say 2017, 2018 have been like a cyclical thing that has been driven by college students and nurses. Okay, walk with me. So college students and nurses, like they pretty much propel what is going to be the next hot water bottle. So we saw it first with like the hydro flask that did numbers for a while. That was
Mm-hmm.
something that was like very Instagrammable. People would post pictures
Yeah,
of it.
I've
Um
unfortunately had to purchase one of those too.
yes, the hydro flask that was popular. That water bottle was like mine. I had some that were $80. I had some that were $60. Um depending on the size. Then from the hydro flask came, I think the Yeti cups were next, and the Yeti cups did their numbers. Then we went to the hydro jugs. The hydro jugs were really big in the gym communities and also in the nursing communities because they were, like they come with a little bag and you like wear in the bags have different prints and stuff. I also have one of those.
I bet
I
you
get
do.
every single one of these bottles.
I don't have a camera on, but my mouth is just agape right now.
So this is an actual industry. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there was a documentary about it, but influencer it's like a mixture from like influencer culture and then just like productivity. So it's like
But you know what the third angle I think that doesn't get enough credit in this part? I think the environmental part really snuck in. Like,
the environmental part is the mask. That's not really
yeah,
what
no,
it is.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the self satisfaction that gives these
Yes.
people the feeling of, oh well, I'm.
If
It's
it's environmental, then why are people
right.
getting more than one? Like I've seen pictures of people that
Well,
have
Exactly.
yeah,
whole
you know.
entire walls of multiple of
Yeah,
these.
well, I
Mhm.
got every shade of pink that they've ever created. I got all 17 pink bottles. They got hot pink,
Why?
light pink, musty
It's
pink,
a bottle. You explained like how it got popping by
but it's not a
nurses, by
bottle.
influencers, but like why do people care?
Because it's a symbol. It's a
A
status
symbol of
symbol.
what?
It's more about being
Nigga, this
in on
isn't
the
a
in crowd.
Gucci bag that costs $800.
Well,
It's a
it's a
$50
status
bottle.
symbol. It's a status symbol because they're difficult to get. So, like for example, I have the baby pink Stanley cup. That one was sold out for a very long time. Kyle was
Who bought you
literally
that one?
like,
Who bought you that one? Mm.
I just said my lovely
Nah,
boyfriend
you
got
ain't
me
say it
the
quick enough, yo. You on your Jonathan Owen shit right now, yo. Come on.
Kyle was scouring the internet for at
Oh
least a
yeah, there
couple
we go.
weeks
I was scouring.
until that one became available because that's a pretty I saw my exact Stanley cup on StockX. So this one
Stock X.
Crazy.
Stock X.
so
This is
it's like this
crazy.
one was hard to find. This one is like a really cute color and um the exclusivity of the Stanley, but people don't realize that because of all of this they're gonna fade off soon because now I feel like because now more people are having them, a lot of people got them for Christmas. People are gonna switch to something else that is also like more exclusive. So it's really just chasing that kind of like one, it's a status symbol because of how hard it is to get, and two, it's a status symbol because even though it's only $60, $70, people tend not to have $70 to spend on a cup. So it's also like it's how minuscule the item is compared to how much it costs that makes it a status symbol.
So
If
one
you have
thing that makes
multiple,
this
then
so I already thought it was like weird and egregious, but another thing that like adds another layer to this for me is apparently the most recent like Stanley Cup thing was in collaboration with Starbucks, who was
mhm.
supporting
Talk about
Israel.
it. Yeah,
So
talk
niggas been
about
lining up around the block when
it.
people are supposed to be
Shameless.
niggas are supposed to be boycotting Starbucks because they support Israel. But
Patooey.
but y'all are making Stanley and Starbucks all the money back that they lost in the boycott.
Hey,
So
look, I'll tell you what. That marketing department at Starbucks is earning. They get them boys a raise. Get them niggas are earning that
you,
motherfucking
you
check.
know what's crazy? Somebody sent me a video of what supposedly kicked off the whole Stanley thing. It was this girl on TikTok that her car somehow caught on fire and she was filming it.
Oh yeah, I saw
And
that.
she went to go pick up
Mhm.
her Stanley Cup and it was
Like fully intact.
unharmed.
Yeah.
And it still had ice in it. So that's great marketing. Like, oh,
Mhm.
this cup can survive a fire. I'm so pessimistic. I literally think that was just marketing.
Could have been.
That
Certainly
was
could have
just
been.
Definitely could
I
have been. Like it definitely could have been. Even though I will say it's a very durable cup, so that also didn't surprise me. Like one that it would still have ice in it because
no, that's definitely crazy. When I saw that, I was like, nah, that is wild. But the more that I got to thinking about it and how Starbucks has lost all of this money to the point where they're like, come on, guys, we don't really support G word. Come on, guys, we're sorry. So they already backtracked. They removed all of the, like, they had some type of reward for Zionism that their CEO had on their website.
Oh,
They
yeah,
removed
I
that from the
remember that.
website.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
remember that.
backtracking. So I wholeheartedly believe that this could just be some type of crazy marketing for them to get their money back. Because
No,
you saw
absolutely.
how fast these niggas scabbed up for a fucking bottle.
And this, I would imagine something like this was probably in the works. But when this shit started going down and them numbers started, them boys probably was like, "Look, speed this up." We was probably going to drop
Yeah,
this
like
in
this
maybe
couldn't have came
March.
at a better time.
Yeah, we was gonna drop this in maybe March, but nah, we need that shit today, nigga. I
Yeah.
need this now.
But I will say too, like Stanley, the CEO of Stanley, was previously the CEO for Crocs, and she was pretty much like her mark, not the CEO of Stanley, the CEO of like basically the one that handles the marketing, whatever. CEO, whatever the case. She was previously that role at Crocs. And if you remember, Crocs used to be a shoe that was very ugly, that people didn't really like, that people didn't really want to wear. People had a lot of like, it was a meme. You know, Crocs were not very popular. And then when she came along, she brought all the new colors, the Croc charms, the things like that that made people actually want to buy them. And now they're like the most popular shoe.
A
And
quick point of reference. It was a guy named Terrence Riley, the person who did the Crocs and the Stanley. It was a
it was a
man.
guy?
Yeah, Terrence Riley was his name.
I don't know why I thought that was a woman.
I get why. We can't say it on air, but I get why.
Okay.
Just
So
seemed a little gay, right?
no. So the
The water
guy
bottles and Crocs. Gotta
I
be.
mean, true. Yeah. What you a male nurse?
Let me guess, you wearing pink scrubs too. You don't got the blue.
He said no, they're magenta. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, and also they also sell Stanley Cup Croc charms, so that's a crossover for your ass. But
How convenient.
But like I think because Stanley's been around for a long time. Like Stanley has been around for a long time. They've sold cups for a long time. And all of these water bottle companies, like they've been around for a while. And it's just that
it just ebbs and
what
flows.
makes them popular right now
Mm-hmm.
is the thing. But yeah, there was an article called like the Croxification of Stanley Cups.
Yikes! Stanley is a 111-year-old company.
Yeah, been around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is reinvent your brand, Brody. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
But shit, what else we got? Since we talking about CEOs, CEO Lululemon said, "I don't want none of you blackies in my clothes. I don't want no Asians in my clothes. I don't want no big fat people in my clothes."
Damn.
They pretty much didn't. Who was the other CEO from a minute ago? Was that like Abercrombie or like Hollister or something?
It was I know who it was. I know who you're talking about.
I think it was Hollister. No, or no, it was. Hold on. Whoa.
No, it was Tommy Hilfiger, right? Wait, was it Tommy Hilfiger?
No, it wasn't Tommy. Okay.
No, Tommy Hilfiger started something racist in the 90s.
I just accidentally looked up something about the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO. I didn't even tell you what. No, it was this guy. It was this guy, this ugly looking fucking beast. This guy, this nigga.
Beast.
All right. I remember this picture very vividly because this guy was like, "I don't want ugly people in my clothes." And I said, "You?"
Yeah, I remember that whole documentary.
Oh, what is this creature?
I know this cretin not telling me he don't want my ass in his clothes.
This is barely a person. This is one of the Nephilims in Miami. This fucking horrendous looking being.
This is who they saw at the mall. Them kids took flight.
This nigga looks like the missing link.
Okay, but sorry. So back to what we was doing. So Lululemon's founder, Chip Wilson, He was speaking at a press conference, and he was critiquing diversity and inclusion. I'm here to tell y'all something. All right, I just want to not to get super political here, but when people have something against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that is a dog whistle, and I implore y'all to keep digging and figure out what they really think.
Why would you be against diversity? That's just straight up
Equity and inclusion. Yeah. But anyway, like they're using it.
Also, I may not be in the know here because obviously I don't know what makes niggas tick these days because I don't know about Stanley water bottles, but I don't know too many black people that's rocking Lululemon.
Well, you don't know too many broke and listen, a lot of there's a lot of folks rocking it. It's mostly women because it's yoga wear. You gotta understand. So
you mentioned broke. Is it not like high class fashion?
It's yoga wear. It's like it's you know what I'm saying? It's like the clothing itself is for folks who go to like spin classes and you do fucking what's the other thing? You do Zumba and all that type of shit. Like it's for those types, and that demographic tends to be white. Even if it's not white, again, even if there's black folks in there, it's more I mean, they got more bags, right? They got more. Like, listen, let me go on the website and show you how much some of this shit costs. Like, it's like you'll quickly realize, like, oh, okay, like this shit don't be cheap. Like, all right, let's look at. They got men's shit too, which I didn't know at all. Mm-hmm. Let's see, they got women. Let's look at the women's. I don't know. It don't even matter. Yeah, the like the workout.
The leggings are their top sellers.
And the leggings are $98 minimum.
Yeah.
So $100 minimum.
When women come into my treatment center, when they have Lululemon leggings, I tell them straight up, like, be mindful because Lululemons will get stolen in this bitch. Like, don't come in here with those leggings.
Yeah, you are around a bunch of folks who maybe not.
Are they recognizable? They don't just like any normal leggings.
No, they're pretty recognizable. They're not full of logos or anything, but there is a small logo that will let you know it's Lululemon. But just the way that it's shaped, because they have a pretty like unique design, even though there's a lot of dupes and stuff. But you'll be able to peep if it's Lululemon, especially if you yourself wear them.
Yeah, like if you wear them, that's probably the biggest indicator of whether you can catch it. But anywho, so the guy's comments, right? He was speaking to Forbes, right? He was giving a profile to Forbes, this is the crazy part. Like they would just ask you about yourself, like, what do you want us to know about you? He said,
I don't want none of them niggas in my pants.
Yeah, basically, right? But he pretty much said, he was talking about his company, right? He's talking about Lululemon. He was saying they're trying to become like the Gap, everything to everybody, which is crazy because the Gap. Babe, nigga, I could never afford it. Old Navy was who I afforded. I couldn't go to the Gap because I was too broke for the Gap. But anyway, I think the definition of a brand is that you're not everything to everybody, which is crazy because what do you call Amazon? But anyway, you've got to be clear that you don't want certain customers coming in. Crazy. Then he also used a flurry of descriptors for the faces in the athletic wear ads: unhealthy, sickly, and not inspirational. So hold on, right? So in a statement to CNN, Lululemon said that he does not speak for the company and that his views don't stand for our beliefs and that it's been a very different company since he left in 2015. And he ain't been involved since. Now, with that being said, apparently this guy is hold on. Hold on. CNN reported that he and his employees once dressed up as babies working with sewing machines to try to stay ahead of criticism that Lululemon relied on child labor. Let's see. Wilson also, huh?
That's an interesting tactic.
Yeah, he also held an image of what Lululemon customers should look like after a recall of a portion of its black pants. Some women's bodies don't work for the pants. It's really about the rubbing through the thighs. How much pressure is there over time? So basically, he don't want big girls in his clothes. I think he said something about Asians at some point. And he did. And yeah, he don't want none of y'all in his shit. I hope we paying attention because he don't want us in none of that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like you don't work there anymore, so.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. Yeah, and
So
I'd
it's
be
like,
I
is it
would
your
get this
shit?
nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. I would put this nigga in the trunk because, like, bro, you are fucking my business up, bro. Shut up, nigga. You're not even
Yeah.
involved with this shit no more. It's been 8 years, nigga. Get you. You still talking about what your ex do? Well, I don't like the way my ex run. You ain't been, bro. Get in the trunk. Get in the fucking trunk. Stop playing with me. We about to take a trip. You want to see the river?
And the thing
Like,
is with Lululemon is just the fact that like, and um, I wish that I could bring my mic closer to me like you do, Kyle, but just imagine that effect is happening. If you're making athletic wear, they should be plus sizes available. I don't understand why you would think it makes sense to have essentially what is gym clothes and exclude the niggas who y'all claim need to be in the gym.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I'm trying to work out.
like now they go up to a size 20. I don't consider that size inclusive, but I think they are trying to expand because companies like Fabletics,
Yitty.
Yitty, Skims, all of those go up. They have a large like size range. And if you want to be competitive with those companies, you're gonna have to increase that size range if you want that bag.
Yeah, I think Nike got into that bag not too long ago as well, like
Yeah.
bumping their
And it's like
sizes
I
up.
love like athleisure, which is essentially what this type of clothing is. Like I love athleisure. I love a good pair of leggings. I spend a good amount of money on leggings. So I don't think that the price is issue because I feel like if you for your some of your leggings are like $128. The exclusivity is there in the sense that not everybody is going to be spending $128 for leggings. So it's like but people do, and I think they would want more people to if they had the sizes available.
Because my thing is, look, if you can afford to get in my shit, I don't really care about nothing. Like basically, like we're going for a certain look, and I'm like, no, we not. We going for a certain bag, bro. If you
Mhm.
got the bag, bro, get in my shit. Get in the clothes. Like I don't care about nothing. Like that's my thing. Like, and this is like, and it's funny because I feel like this is a good transition into pandering, right? Where a lot of that marketing is pandering, but it's just like some
Mhm.
folks like are like just inherently against pandering until it, you know what I mean? Like, and they're actually not, but it's like it's so weird where people draw those lines because it's just
Mhm.
like, dog, like this is extra money, this is free money. I bet he did, or I bet he did. Meanwhile, she got the dumper, but it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit, right? Because you don't like that. But that's the part that kills me because it's like these companies do so much pandering. And as a businessman, again, your marketing, your communications, it's gonna be a ton of pandering. And it's so funny where people will draw the line and where people get mad with it. And it's like, and it's funny because you're only saying this because you're not the fucking CEO anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also,
Like
my
most
thing
of
is,
y'all niggas,
it's one
like,
thing to be fat phobic. A lot of people are fat phobic, but he took it a step further. I don't want none of you fat niggas in here. I don't want no Asian niggas in my clothes. None of you garboons. I don't want nobody. Just white women going to spin class. That's who these is for.
straight up, bro. If you're not going to Jamba Juice after you done working out, bro, get the fuck out my clothes, bro. I mean that.
You
If
know
you're
damn
not
well he
walking,
not have said this shit if he was still the CEO.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's my whole thing. Cause like none of y'all are ever that brave. None of y'all are brave enough to stop the pandering right then and there. But like y'all
Mhm.
do it here. Y'all like so that's the thing I hate because it's like as a company, your job is to pander. I don't care what the CEO's job is, da da da. As a the marketing, brother, my job is to pander and to find the most innovative and new and sexy ways to pander to y'all. So my thing is, it's just like it's ridiculous that you'd be mad at this branding and that them basically saying we want to include everyone, it's diversity and da da da. When mind you, it's all for a bag anyway. Like, do you think the people who
Mhm.
actually still work at Lululemon are like hell bent on getting black people or Asian people or bigger people into their clothes? No, they're hell bent on getting your dollar. So if that means getting you in my clothes, then yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But it's like that's the thing that kills me. Where it's like it's the same thing when companies pull out Juneteenth shit. Half of these niggas, like, and you could tell sometimes, because sometimes the pandering stinks. The pandering is terrible
Mhm.
because you didn't even do the research. You just know so bad that you want to talk to a certain population. but you
Yeah,
don't
I
know
say it
enough to
every
pander
year,
well.
every February. I'm like, Target gonna get me every time with that Black History Month section because they do
Yeah,
a good job.
because they do, even with some of the Christmas shit with Target, they do a lot of
Yeah,
Black Christmas
I
shit.
know they're
It's like,
pandering.
and that's my thing. Like pandering is one of those things where like pandering gets such a bad rap when I think we pander all the time as individuals, as companies, as a society. Like we pander often, early and often, and it's just like it only looks away when, well, usually the pander looks terrible when it doesn't work, right? Like I mean, mostly that.
Mhm.
It, other times it looks bad when it's just too obvious,
Mhm.
and sometimes when it's taken a bit too far, right? Where it's like, oh, you're selling out, like you're really selling out, like you're going all out to pander, and it's not real, and we can see that it's not real. And so it is funny because I remember bringing this up, and I put pandering on the agenda because we were talking about so me and Raven were talking about, like, back in the day where how niggas on Tumblr used to pander, right? Like that was a tried and true method. Hey, look, you want to talk? You knew what to say. You knew what not to say. You knew what to leave out. And we were just talking about like how the ratio of pandering, right? Where it's just like people think pandering is a 0 or 100 game. Either you're pandering 100% or you're not pandering at all. And that's just not real. That's not how it's ever been, right? It's a percentage based thing, right? Like I think there's so many times I've said something that I truly believed in that I was finna say anyway. It just came with the added benefit I'm finna get something off of this. So with that pander, that's a mostly legitimate like the pandering is probably 20% of that, 25% of that, maybe
I feel
30%
like
of that. If you want.
pandering is an act that you decide to do. If I really feel this way, sure, I might get something else, but I really feel this
You
way.
know, but
Pandering
I
is something
but I
deliberate.
no,
I'm
because I think it's
choosing
still
to
a
do this.
pander. I would think it's still a pander because look at it like this. The whole point of a pander, right, is I'm gonna say something that I know you would like to hear or want to hear for some sort of gain, correct? That's what pandering is to me.
No, so like, but that's why I say I feel like it's an act because like these stores don't give a fuck about black people, they don't give a fuck about gay people, but they pander during Black
So if
History
you
Month.
believe it, it can't be a
Pandering.
pander.
That's what I'm saying. If I believe in it, it's
Okay,
not pandering.
okay,
If I
okay,
really feel this
got
way,
you.
you might feel the same way, and I know you feel the same way. I don't think that's pandering. I think we just got a lot in common, and I'm letting you know that I feel the same way. So maybe we could talk, but I don't think that's pandering.
I,
Pandering is I'm
okay,
putting
okay.
watermelon salad in my restaurant for the 14th.
Okay. Okay.
That's
So walk with
pandering.
me. So walk with me, right? Let's say I'm in the room, right? And I'm talking to a bunch of women in the room, right? They're having a conversation before I even get in. I walk in, I sit down, I greet myself, da da da. Hey, how y'all doing? It's one girl in here. Ooh, all right. I'm feeling her. I want to talk to her, right? I'm sitting down and they start having a conversation. And then they have a conversation about, I don't know, pick a social issue. Doesn't really matter what it is, right? Now, let's say what they said on that issue, I align mostly with that, right? If I then like pull them to the side later on, like, oh, hey, heard what you said about so and so, and then I really harp on that point, right, to get their
Okay,
number or
when
to
you put
get
it
some
like that,
coochie,
that's
but
pandering.
that's
When you're
pandering.
deliberately like, if it can come up organically and you agree with it, then cool. But like, if you,
Sure, yeah,
I
sure,
heard
sure,
you
sure,
talking
sure.
about before, but
But again,
I
I think
told you I don't
intent.
really fuck with that.
To
Yeah,
me, pandering is about intent, right? It's about what's your intent. Like when you said that, again, and you can have multiple intents. You can have a primary intent and a secondary intent. I think if pandering is your secondary intent, it's still pandering. It's just not as, I wouldn't call it like if you really believe what you're saying, it's still pandering because you're saying it because you know the women love to hear it. Like you won't say the other things that you know they won't want to hear, but you'll purposely make sure you say this because you know they finna hear it and you know they finna love it. Right. So I still see it as pandering, but I don't see that as egregious as some of the pandering that takes place where I'm a fraud. I don't even believe this shit. I'm just saying it so I can fuck. Like that's I mean, I would put that
nigga,
past
that's
pandering. That
evil.
yeah, no, that would put that past pandering. That is a you are misrepresenting yourself. That is a manipulative you are manipulating. I mean, granted, and pandering is manipulation, um
Mhm.
but yeah, so that's why my thing is like I just always felt like, especially then back then, like you would see and you look around and you look at different people on Tumblr, and you look at like, oh, okay, I've had conversations with that nigga. I know he don't believe that shit. Or you look at somebody else, I've had conversation, me and him, we talked. I know he playing it up because I know what the pushback was that he offered me. And he ain't talking about that. He ain't gonna mention the pushback because he know that's not what they want to hear. So again, I think all of that counts as pandering. It's just again, it's just like a spectrum. It's just a how bad of a pander is it? Like 1 to 10. Like is it a 6? Is it a 2? Is it a 10? Like, you know what I mean? I just think it falls on that sort of thing. It's just like a ratio. Like, is it like 70% pander, 20% pander? Is it like pander free edition? Is it the pander deluxe edition?
So, like, a panderer used to be what they referred to like a pimp as.
Well, yeah, pimps and pander. Pimp pander. Absolutely. Yeah,
Because
pimps
like
pander.
pandering used to be
And
what
pimps
was
might believe
considered,
some of the shit they telling their ladies.
yeah,
They
like
might
the
believe some of that.
procuring or recruiting of a person into prostitution or sex work.
Huh. Is that the origin of that term, really?
That's the origin of the term. Pandering involves procuring or recruiting a person into prostitution or sex work. And it requires that you have a
Oh,
specific
okay.
intent to promote or encourage that person in this illegal industry.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah.
Wow.
If anybody call me a panderer, you're gonna have to see me, because you gonna have to see me. Like, it's no way. Okay, all right. If that's the case, I know a couple niggas who call me panderers. I'm sending a drone. I'm sending a drone. We are in talks as we speak. I got my 5. I'm dropping that predator.
Yeah, like you're a procurer. That's like
Not
that's
a
like,
not a procurer. Like, yo, do
well,
not ever
that's
call
what,
me a
yeah, like,
don't ever call me a
yeah,
pussy procurer. Like, this is insane. Like,
yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I do think that like pandering is like, I think inherently it is manipulative, but I also think that like what you're like what you know what you're describing is kind of like a feed two birds with one scone type situation where you're like, yes, this is this, but I also do genuinely believe these things. But I'm also not oblivious to the fact that I'm going to have some sort of reaction to it
right, yeah, and that is beneficial for me. Yeah.
that would ultimately be beneficial. I think what becomes an issue is how often you get into that bag, because then
hmm hmm
it's like I can no longer view your intentions as being
Right.
like,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I will even say for myself, it was a slippery slope, because again, you get
Mhm.
into you pander enough to where it's 80-20. It's 80, you can do all the safe panders in the world. At some point, given the success of your safe panders, you're gonna want to get a little. It's just, I mean, it's simple. It's real simple. Like, it's the same way betting would work, nigga. If I betted on all safe bets and every one of them motherfuckers hit, at a certain point, I would think to myself, well, shit, if I increase the odds. I mean, it might be a little more risky,
Mhm.
but shit, I might be able to. And so again, you find yourself in that same slippery slope where then you start to realize, I'm having conversations I don't even really want to. Now, I might still believe these things, but now I'm talking about things I don't even necessarily want to talk about. Now I'm
Mhm.
having these different thoughts and feelings and emotions that it's like, oh man, now that secondary intention or that secondary thing is starting to creep into the primary. To where now sometimes it's like, oh, I say something, the first thought in my mind is, oh, the bitch is gonna love this. And it's like,
That's the slope.
now you're on a slope, because again, you still saying what you believe, but now the primary intent is to bag. And now we're getting into a little scary territory where again,
Mhm.
it's hard because again, like you said, it's hard for someone else looking on the outside in to tell my intentions. Shit, it ain't that easy to tell my own at that point. So listen, I say this to all panderers: get a job, okay? Do something different with your life. Right? It's one particular nigga that I think all of us have seen on Twitter, who is he to me, I feel like he's the modern day he is the panderer connoisseur. Um and
That nigga we've all seen. Is this somebody famous?
no, he's not that famous. He's not that famous. No, he's like not even a celeb at all. He's just the nigga from the socials. We'll talk
Not
about it
somebody.
off mic. I ain't
Somebody
about
tell me
to
that.
call this nigga no
I was
more.
gonna
So, oh
I
yeah,
was gonna drop it. I was gonna drop it in the general chat.
yeah. You could drop it in the chat. Yeah. And then
But I
but
need to
you
get.
you've seen the nigga. And if you haven't, go to his page for about 5 minutes. You'll see exactly why he's there.
I do not remember this nigga's at name.
Yeah, I don't remember it entirely. I know how would I find him on Twitter? I'm finding him everywhere else.
Oh well, just send that.
Hold on. Linktree, nigga is a thought. Where is the Twitter? Thank you. Okay, gotcha. Boom.
There we go.
Ooh.
I was
Nah, I never
spelling
seen
that
this nigga
so
before.
wrong.
You say you what?
I was
I never
spelling
seen
that
this nigga
so wrong.
before.
Oh, you never seen
Okay.
him before?
And his tweets are protected, so I can't even.
Yeah. I don't know when that happened, but all right.
He must have been getting some pushback for some dumb shit.
No, he certainly was. I can assure you he was. And mind you, but again, he's a perfect example of like I agree with him most of the time when he's saying what he's saying. It just gets to the point where I'm just like, dog.
Every tweet.
I know enough. I know enough to know what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. I was you before. I've done this.
And he
I've
ain't
done
the
this.
only one. There's this other one too. I'm about to drop in the general. We'll use this thing as the backup. Like it's also
The
him.
backup panderer. I think I know. I knew he was. I knew he was gonna post that nigga. I knew he was gonna post that nigga.
I've never seen. I'm glad I don't follow the people y'all follow. I've never seen this nigga.
I don't follow him. I don't follow
Oh,
him.
I know you don't follow him.
That
But
man is
the
on my
people
block list.
No, I'm not saying y'all follow. I'm saying the people that y'all do follow obviously be reposting these niggas because I've never seen these niggas once.
Yeah, and again, like
These
I said,
For You page warriors though. They don't even have
literally.
Oh,
literally.
I actively stay on my For You page. If I
Well,
see
yeah,
one
so
tweet
you'll
that
never
looks
see this
wild,
guy.
Yeah,
I
you'll never
immediately,
see.
oh, okay, I'm on the For You.
So you're never gonna see these guys. Yeah, no, these are people like if you on the For You page, For You page warriors. Literally, that's the best description of these niggas. Like that just be my thing. Like you won't see most of these people most of the time, right? Like again, you just won't. But then every once in a while you'll see a take, or I'll see a take on something, and I'm just like, oh, let me guess. And then click through, yup, it's you. I should have known it was you.
I see one off tweet that looks like, now, why the fuck would this person be saying that? I check, I see For You, and I just go to following. So I don't even waste my time on the For You.
But yeah, nah. So some of it is like it's just an extreme pan. And like I said, like you have to understand, being a nigga on Tumblr who had like 30,000 followers and was doing this type of shit, it's just like, dog, I'm gonna be perfectly frank with you. I've seen all of this shit. If it wasn't me doing it, it was some other nigga there doing it. I've seen it all. I've seen all of this shit. I know the techniques. I know the tricks. I'm watching it. I see it.
You honed it. You perfected it.
I wouldn't even tell you that. I just know I was doing it. I know I was there. Like, but that's just the part that killed me. Like, I don't know. Like, it just be like, cause I feel like those are the type of niggas like they gon' like you gonna fuck around and give I don't know. Y'all gonna fuck around. Like those are the type you remember when you see all that relationship and dating content? Those are the type of niggas. Oh my god, they're so insufferable when that shit come up. Anytime we start talking about men and women interacting, I just be like, oh no, who was it? Not him. Not him. Please, not him. I don't want to hear your take on what is clearly a situation where the nigga is wrong. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Like, it'd be a situation where a nigga just says the stupidest shit in the world, and then I see this nigga name, and I'm like, no. Oh, he's going to get free pussy off of this.
It's just one of those situations where you know a nigga is under replying, you think you'll get some bitches off of this? That's the type of tweets they be making every day.
Yeah, no, literally. And unfortunately, the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
I am, in fact, getting bitches off of this.
And that's the part that I think people keep failing to realize is like, people always talk about Pandering, she's not going to let you fuck. She might actually let me fuck, bro. I'm not going to hold you. At the very least, it's going to get me closer to fucking than you will. And I think people fail to realize, like, again, as a former panderer, you wouldn't have did it for so long if it didn't fucking work. You gotta understand, like, men don't do a lot of the emotional shit. And let's be stereotypical for a second, right? Men don't do a lot of the emotional shit. It's about logic and analytics and what makes the most sense. So, if I've been pandering for 4 years, brother, what does that tell you? The shit works to some degree. There's some level of effectiveness to it. Because if there wasn't, I would have tried something else already. So that be my thing where I'm like, bro, I promise you, when niggas do that, she not gonna fuck you, bro. But her friend might. Or she might put in a good word with somebody else who does fuck me. You're thinking too small. You're thinking too small. You're just thinking about the immediate, brother. You gotta understand that you make a connection that makes a connection that makes another connection. You just looking at it, well, she not gonna fuck you. Maybe she fucks nobody on this website. That's perfectly fine with me. She knows some fuck. Yeah, you need to be thinking big. like you gotta think bigger than that, dog.
That just sounds crazy to me though, boiling down your entire social media presence and persona to trying to fuck.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not fun. It's not fun
It
at
doesn't
all.
sound fun. It sounds
It's
horrible.
not fun at all. Like when you in it, you don't quite recognize like that it's not fun. You just think it's like, you just chase the this and that, and then when you have the feeling of accomplishment, but then when you get past it and then you kind of look back on it, you just like, yeah, I actually didn't have it. All of that was stressful. None of that was none of it was organic. None of it felt great. Like, none, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously the triumph of, I bagged. But like, it's still like, well, I bagged because I, again, played up this and I da-da-da. Obviously, I sanitized the shit out of something.
Also, you bagged, but this is your entire personality on the website. How many more times are you going to bag before, people start realizing and start circulating around the community?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, shit like that would happen too, right? Because then other people will see your post, they recognize it. Again, same way how if I look at a post and I see it and I can recognize it, niggas started doing the same thing. Where they just start looking, oh my god, bro, I know why you doing this, yeah. Like you just trying to da-da-da, and then you just got played off. What are you talking about? No, nigga, this is really how I feel. You only got so many of those in you. I mean, for real, like you really only got so many of the denials in you before it's just like, all right, look, I'm doing it, and what's the problem? I don't understand. They cool with it. I'm cool with it. Everybody get what they need to get, right? But yeah, no, it's not fun, and it's just genuinely like you said, it's just it reduces the best parts about social media, and now it just becomes like I wouldn't even say like work. Like it just becomes like a job. Like my job is to go in here and bag, and it's just that shit stinks.
Yeah, a lot of it is covert to a degree, though, and that's why it can be something that is sustainable because at the end of the day, it's like, I did this to build my platform. Now I can tweet about whatever the fuck I want. And as long as it
Which is
still
literally what
does
I
not
did. Yeah.
deviate, yeah, like, so it's just like, I can use my platform the way I want to because I have amassed 45,000 followers. And, but it was through this engagement in social justice topics. And also the fact of the matter is too, I feel that women are too easy when it comes to
Oh,
this because the talking points are so surface
elementary.
level,
Yeah.
low hanging fruit, and it's
Mm-hmm.
things that we'll see women regurgitate, like we'll see women speak over and over and over, and then a nigga that you kind of think is cute regurgitates that on a most median level,
Yeah, he
and it's like,
regurgitates 75% of it, and you're like,
yeah,
oh my
and it's just like, oh, like he gets a follow, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's just so reductive because it just shows how little we expect from niggas that they really don't even have to do much in relation. It's like basic human decency, a little bit of social
yeah.
criticism is enough
An
to
elementary
have
understanding of social issue, and you're just like, oh yeah, he's
it's
getting
enough
it.
to have you like in their DMs, sending whatever respond, like, so that's just the other side of it that for me, even back then, even all the way back then, always gave me a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, but I do want to emphasize that was another woman that said that. That was not me. That was not my brother in Christ, Khaalid. That was not Reef. That was another woman that said that. So if there's any pushback or critiques, please direct them towards the lady on the council and not me, because
Yeah,
while I agree, I
I don't
simply
think there
won't
should
say
be
that out
pushback.
loud.
I agree.
You
Like
know
you
there's
said,
gonna be pushback. I mean, she called some women easy. Why wouldn't there be pushback?
you gotta look at the intent behind why she said that because you're so used to niggas not being shit. You
No,
finally
no.
is saying the right thing.
I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not at
No,
all
no,
denying that
I'm
what
not
she's
missing what you're
saying is
saying.
yeah, the pushback will exist because you said
I'm
something I
telling
didn't
the
like.
niggas that are gonna do pushback that you shouldn't have pushback. You can have pushback against that.
Period.
Yeah, that's a fact. Shouldn't be no pushback at all. Because what y'all finna push? What is y'all talking about? Was that you? Did you fall for that? Well,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, like please don't keep falling for this.
Let's see. What else? It's nothing but sports on this agenda, and we can cover sports a little bit. Quite frankly, I really don't care about none of this shit. Minus the Russell Wilson shit. I did care a little bit about that. Pistons finally won a game. I know we're a little late on that, but that's cool.
I don't care about that. I wanted them to keep going. I wanted them to keep losing. So I'm disappointed.
Yeah, where I wanted them to beat the Celtics. I remember saying to you,
that would have been so
I was like,
funny.
that would be the funniest thing that could happen.
One of the best teams in the league, they break the streak on them, man.
Oh man, when I saw that score, I was just like, please.
They pushed them to overtime.
I was begging, please let it be the Celtics, yo, please. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll wrap up the Russell Wilson shit as quick as I can. So basically, long story short, Russell Wilson's getting paid. I think he's guaranteed $37 million this year. He has an injury guarantee in his contract, right? So what happened was the Broncos were 3-5 at one point this season, and when they were 3-5, they were like, "Hey, listen, let's talk about sitting you down and then reworking this contract to take the injury guarantee out." Or actually, no, they weren't even talking about sitting him down. They were just talking about removing the injury guarantee, because the way the injury guarantee works is if he gets injured at all this season, the team will be on the hook for his $37 million no matter what. And so basically, they came to him week 8, 3-5. They figured the season was over and said, "Yeah, hey, listen, can you remove that from your contract? Let's talk about that." Then right after that, they go on a little win streak. I think they win like 4 games, 4 out of 5, or some shit like that. And so of course the rumbling stopped, and now it's like, how you gonna bench the guy who's leading you to the wins? You can't do that. So then, needless to say, they stop winning so much, and they lose a few here and there. Then they bring it back up, like, "Hey, listen, remember that whole thing about the guarantees and contract? Let's get back to that." Except this time they're a little more forceful, like, "Hey, listen, like, we really want those removed, and if you don't remove them, we may have to sit you to protect our investment," basically. And so, to me, this is a clear case of blackmail, where you are just flat out telling somebody, "Hey, listen, do what I say. Me and you struck this deal and agreed to this contract. I don't like the language in it, even though I agreed to it. And now at this point, if you aren't willing to renegotiate language with me, I'm going to punish you for not doing so."
Which is fucked up, because y'all agreed to the contract. Y'all signed off on the language.
Mm-hmm. And the only way this works to me, like, all of this screams to me, if you're so worried about him not getting injured in these last 2 games and not having that guaranteed money on your books, to me, that screams you're going to trade him. That screams that you are trying to trade him, and you want to make sure, if I get you injured, I can't trade you. If you do get injured, not only can I not trade you, but then I owe $37 million to you, and I wanted to deal you out in the first place. So it really looks like that's what the move is, and that's why they're willing to bench him, because they're looking at it like, "Look, bro, I don't want you getting hurt for no reason, because I don't want to guarantee that money, and I damn sure don't want you on my team come next year." So I think we'll see a Broncos trade where they trade Russell Wilson. I don't know who will take that money on. I do think there's some teams who will be interested in. Hey, that's not too bad of a spot to land. I'm not gonna hold you. It's not too bad. But so mind you,
he can go to Atlanta. Shit, Desmond Ridder is out.
Yes,
we know
yes,
that.
He could. Yes, he could. Yeah, he probably should go to Atlanta, right? Yeah, Desmond Ridder's cooked. So yeah, there's a lot of places he could go. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other teams that he could probably go to. You said Justin Fields. I mean, you said the who? The Bengals?
The Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. They might not have enough cap room because they got Jimmy G. Well, no, I think the problem is Jimmy G's still on contract, and I don't know what he's making, but I think his contract is kind of beefy, so they'd have to get rid of him. Yeah, he's getting 3 years, 72.
It's crazy having a nigga on contract sitting on your bench, though. That's just crazy.
It really is. It really
Y'all might as well have him out there, because they got Derek Carr down in New Orleans, and that nigga's ass, but they refuse to sit him. They're going to get the money's worth.
Refusal. But the thing that was so crazy about this is that, so Russell Wilson played it, like, after the second time they came to him, he started talking to NFLPA, Players Association, and all that. And then it was funny because then you started to see the Broncos try to create a paper trail, which to me said everything like, "Oh, you guys know you're guilty." Like now you need to create a paper trail. Like so then they started like putting basically paperwork in that they were saying that this is a business or a football decision, not a business decision. And I was like, it's a football decision to bench Russell Wilson, who has had similar stats to Pat Mahomes this year. I just want to make sure I'm getting
the last 3 games in a row. Maybe
I just
4.
I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. He has 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he's completing 66% of his passes with a 98 passer rating. This is hello? Am I missing something? Like again, in what world am I supposed to believe?
He's doing that, and look at the niggas he has out there. Other than Cortland Sutton, what do they have?
They got Jerry Jeudy, who can't catch a cold. They got Marvin Mims, who catches 1 deep shot a game. They got
Javonte Williams, who might as well.
Javonte Williams, who they. But then I'm glad you brought his name up, right? Because then people start talking about the other aspect of this. We're like, okay, do we think this team was trying to lose games? Because when you start, remember the play calls, where remember how often I complained about why Samaje Perine keep getting the fucking ball. And then you start thinking to yourself, well, maybe some of this has something to do with the fact that y'all weren't really trying to win games like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. I think the league ought to do something to them because I just don't think this should be allowed to rock at all.
No, they're not gonna do that. The league is always gonna stand with the teams over the players.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's the Lion Flores shit all over again, where it's like it's clear what's happening here. Like we can all see it, but you know, they technically didn't do anything wrong. Like, all right, bro. But yeah. So needless to say, wish the worst for the Denver Broncos at this point. What else? The Lions got hold by the refs. Yeah, it's just money. Like these are just money laundering, especially the ass teams too. These are money laundering organizations. Lions got hosed by the refs, and then their coach makes the insane decision to hose them himself. Let's see. The Eagles lost to the Cardinals. Funny enough,
embarrassing.
Eagles lost to the Cardinals. Pretty embarrassing. I did not know 2 things. I did not know, one, Matt Patricia is involved on that Eagles defense, and you know how much I hate that stupid motherfucker. 2,
didn't know that either.
Right? Didn't know that. But mind you, in the last, like, I think 4 or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, maybe, their defensive stats have been horrible. I'm just saying.
Did he just get there? He just landed or something?
He got there this year. So I don't know. But listen, I'm willing to blame it on him because I hate that nigga. Oh, he got there 3 weeks ago. Did he?
Oh, that's oh my god, that timeline.
Ain't no
that's
way,
his thing.
bro. Ain't no way, bro.
Why do they keep giving this nigga a job?
Ain't no way. Hold on. He was an assistant who took over the defense as of the 18th. So yeah, they were already stinking, and they just continued to stink with him because he's fucking terrible.
Yo, the Celtics are blowing out the Jazz right now. This is
it's the Jazz. I mean, would you? So let me look at these games. Why are we at? What year is this, nigga? What the fuck? Okay, cool. So that Eagles defense, I want to say pretty much from October onwards, minus the Chiefs game, they've looked like shit.
I mean, they haven't been looking great offensively either.
Like the Giants put up 25 after Matt Patricia took over, and the Cardinals put up 35. I'm sorry, I'm blaming this shit on him. I hate this nigga, and he stinks. He shouldn't be in the league. Him, Bill O'Brien, some of you niggas don't deserve employment in this league. You're not good enough. And you never have been, and you never will be. You stink. You're terrible. And Matt Patricia's one of them. I wish his football career the worst. The absolute worst. And I wish it didn't have to come at the Eagles' expense, but if y'all gonna take the risk and put a dickhead on your roster, then this is what happens to y'all. So they weren't very good before he got there, but I'll tell you what, I'm looking at games that, there was a couple 30-point games. Commanders put up 31 on them. That's crazy. There was a couple games, but like he got there the 18th. He took over. Like so, I guess that's after the Seahawks game that they lost. Which that game was nuts. I don't know how they fucking lost that game, but I can't blame the defense neither because it took a last-second Seahawks touchdown to win the game. Meaning it was 17-14 with 2 minutes left in the game. Why the fuck would I blame the defense?
That's why I said earlier the offense been shit too.
No, and that was the second part of who I was going to get mad at. Brian, I think Brian Johnson is their offensive play caller, and he's been horrible. Brother, when we were talking about these, somebody had the sequence of plays in that Cardinals game. It was 2 quarterback drives and then a wide receiver screen to fucking Julio Jones on like third and long. Like, brother, I'm sorry. You got to lose the job. You have got to get the fuck out of the studio because what are you doing? Like, first off, why did Julio, like, brother, look at it like this. The Eagles lost 35-31, right? They had 31 points. Let me give you all the names of the players who did not score a touchdown. DeAndre Swift didn't score a touchdown. Jalen Hurts didn't score a touchdown. AJ Brown didn't score a touchdown. Did Devontae Smith score a touchdown? I think he might have. I think he did. There was somebody else I was going to highlight who didn't score a touchdown. But it's like, bro, your 3 or 4 best offensive players did not even get a touchdown. And none of them even had, like, AJ Brown's stats were what? Ordinary as fuck. Against the Cardinals? Who, like, again, some of this shit is just mystifying. Why does Jalen Hurts have 160 passing yards? He's got great completion percentage, so it's not like he was just missing. It's just, bro, I'm
throwing the ball.
I'm just confused as to why AJ Brown has 4 catches, Dallas Goedert has 5. Julio Jones has 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith has 3 catches. If I add up your 2 best receivers, they got 7 catches for 83 yards and no touchdown. That wouldn't be good enough if either one of them had it. Like, it's just something wrong with their play calling. It's something wrong with their offensive coordinator. And I think the sooner they get rid of this nigga and I think at this point, it's probably too late in the season. They're just gonna, it's at this point, they looking at it like the sunken cost fallacy. Like, well, he got us all the way here. So And I'm like, I don't care what he did to get you here. Look at what he's doing now, dog. It's not enough. And when you see like it's not working against the Cardinals, like barely worked against the Washington Commanders. It don't work against the Cowboys. It don't work against the Bills. You got fried by the 49ers. Now, granted, these are all good teams, but the problem is, best what? If you want to make it to the Super Bowl, bitch, you got to beat 1 or 2 of them. At least. You want to make it to the Super Bowl, you're going to have to beat the 49ers or the Cowboys. Guarantee. Guarantee, buddy. So, I don't know. Like, nigga, the Giants had you sweating with Tyrod Taylor. And honestly, they should have beat you. They should have beat y'all. If Tyrod wasn't ass and missed Saquon Barkley on that last little, they should have beat y'all. So, or not, maybe not should have beat y'all, but they absolutely should have. You get what I'm saying? Like, this game should have been a lot. Like, it's just, bro, I'm sorry. No, there's no reason that a game, and mind you, hold on, let's look at the stats from that game, too. Let's look at the stats from that game. I mean, obviously, your defense was ass. That's why they were putting up some crazy numbers on you. But then you look, DeAndre Swift got loose. AJ Brown, 6 catches for 80 yards. That's not enough for me, but okay. Devontae Smith, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Dallas Goedert has a bunch of catches, and then it's nothing. And it's just like something is not clicking offensively, brother. Like, it's just, and then, of course, when it does, you still have the problem of my defense stinks. And that's where I'm just like, bro, Matt Patricia has got to go. He has got to go. He has to go. And Brian Johnson, count your fucking days. That's it.
Brian Johnson, we need to go first because the offense is the real issue.
Yeah. But that's all I got. That's all I got, man. I'm gonna wrap it up because Bailey is over here biting my finger, and the moment I stop giving her my finger to bite, she's gonna start barking. So, we got anything else? Anything else? Anybody else got anything they want to get off their chest?
I'm good.
We good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, with that being said, yeah, I know. With that being said, ladies and gents, y'all be easy, y'all be safe. Yeah, I know. It's been episode 121. Tell them bye, Bailey. Tell them see you later. You're not gonna send us off all that yapping you was willing to do. Whatever.
Just like a damn kid.
Really, truly. Yeah, there you go. All right, ladies and gents. What you said? What? And then wait. And then Israel did what? Oh my goodness. That's a war crime. That's a war crime. Okay, girl. All right. We're trying to get out of here.